That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog types, Gog peoples of the world. Unite and get ready for episode 282 of Pen and Pixels. This is the show that focuses on story and narrative in games, and we are here today with the next session of Talisman Adventures, sponsored as always by Pegasus Spiele. Thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this awesome epic experience. Before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us here on the channel of Gog. If you have not already done so, please follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. Please consider subscribing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel as well, so you can get those awesome custom sub badges and DRM-free emotes and all that kind of good stuff. And if you haven't done so already, please consider clicking through and checking out our individual channels as well, because we have our own subsystems and Patreons and all that kind of good stuff in those places. Now, today we have got some Talisman Adventures coming at you, which is going to be really awesome. First time we've done this in over a month. We do it every month, but it's been, we did earlier in the month, I think in May, and so now we're closing in on June, the end of June and all that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness, Memories and 8-Bit just supervised. What is a cleric's favorite hot drink? Divinity. Outstanding work, 8-Bit. Outstanding work. Good stuff. Thank you. And I should mention, by the way, that if you haven't already done so, please go check out the D&D with GOG audio podcast, which Flaos has been compiling. It really has been fun to listen to those and go through them again. And it traces the adventures of the incredible GOG crew all the way from their humble beginnings with Temple of Tribor, Terror at Tribor, I think, all the way through into Storm King's Thunder and then to the end of it. And now, of course, they've started a new D&D campaign, which is Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But the original crew, or much of the original crew, has been with us for Talisman Adventures. So we're going to be playing that here now. On my channel, I am done now until next month, which means the end of the week, when we get started with some more Neverwinter Nights 2 Complete. And on this channel, I will be back next week with some more Solasta Crown of the Magister, which I've really been enjoying. So that's a good time. No, I wasn't going to give you a timeout. No. Yeah, thank you, Echo, for those links. You definitely should check those folks out because they're fun. I really have been enjoying listening back to those early days of D&D with this crew. It was a lot of fun, so it should be good stuff. So, and of course, Memories and 8-Bit was one of the people involved in those. But in any case, it is good to see everyone here, and I hope everyone is looking forward to a wonderful session today as I turn on the Twitch chat, and as I turn on, wait for it, my camera. There we go. Good to see you all. I hope everyone is doing well. You will notice that there is a fan in the background. Now, that is because, thank goodness, I have my AC set up in this room because it is the attic. It is currently 93 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It is very hot. And so all of the heat rises up to this room. So I had to use the fan here. I think I'm going to be able to turn that down in a bit because we had 4 of our new air conditioning units that are all on the same outside unit running. And 2 of them, my daughter who is at camp and my son who is currently hanging out with my wife on the other side of the house, they are not in their rooms and therefore do not need to have the air conditioners on there. So I turned those up to a much more rational level, which means that now I'm finally getting the cool air I was expecting in this office. So it is beginning to cool it down. I am no longer sweating, which is really nice. I was starting to sweat. It is much cooler in here than it is out there, so thank goodness. But in any case, that is the deal with that. I am very excited to be able to be cool, and I'm even more excited to be able to have with me this incredible, amazing crew. So I'm going to unmute myself so they know that we are ready to go, and then I'm going to unmute them, and I will apologize again for interrupting them with whatever awesome thing they were saying, and I'm going to bring us over to this awesome overlay, again brought to you by the amazing Shadowed Mage, who just gave us 2 new emotes for the Eberron campaign that I'm doing on my channel, and he's really good at these. So this one is awesome. The video, of course, was provided by Peripheral Mike, who, as you see, is not with us today. I'm just going to quickly start with him and say that for family reasons, Mike's not going to be able to be here for this session, which is unfortunate. He's fine. Everything is okay. He will be back as per normal next month, but that means, unfortunately, he's going to have to miss today's session. But the other 3 intrepid adventurers are here, and they are going to be playing themselves and him. They're all going to take one part of him. Pyron will take Ash, Saber will take Fleur, and Chai will take Hour, and that together they will make Ashflower. So that's not how it's going to happen.
Like Voltron.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I'll form the head. Just wait till we form Blazing Sword. That will be a time, let me tell you. But it is is good to see the other three people with us, beginning with the honored and amazing GOG Stream Team leader, who I would again like to publicly acknowledge is amazing and awesome, and does so much for all the Stream Team members. We do not deserve her, but we appreciate her. And that, of course, is the amazing Pyron Jade. Pyron, it's good to see you. How is life in the universe with you, and who are you playing for today?
Life in the universe is actually pretty good, I have to say. What you missed is, like, we looked at Mike's character sheet, and we all of us went like, "This is a bad character sheet. We need to improve on this."
What is wrong with his character sheet? Like, what?
He did not put the explanations on there. Like, for example, for skills, he only put like notice and not what you roll or anything. And we try to figure out like what kind of abilities his character has. And so, because sometimes it's like special abilities, pages 68 to 86, no, 68 to 69. I'm like, okay, thank you.
So it's just page references, is what you're saying. It's just like
a bit. I mean, he put in his weapons. That helps. But we will write a lot on this character sheet, and then Mike gets a wonderful character sheet back for next time.
Why did I die? Well, you insisted on punching everyone with your fists. I did what? Well, we couldn't figure anything else out, so we just had you punch things. Oh man, it's gonna be good times.
Yeah. But I will not only be playing Ashflower tonight, but also my very own character, which is Regina Augusta III, a warrior sprite. Still kind of confused and very angry at things, but not sure about why or what exactly. But we're getting there, I'm sure.
You're making progress.
Very small, but very punchy.
Yes,
indeed.
I liked your
tweet. I do have my stream deck up, but I will try to not use it. But it's really, really hard.
It's really just like occasional just soundboard. See, yeah.
Funny.
Listen, you have no one to blame but yourself if they get confused and they're like, "Wait, is this waves crashing on rocks or is this Regina?" Like,
no,
this is you have no one to blame but yourself. You know.
Yes, I know. I need to stop.
8-bit gives us the "Why do paladins wear chainmail? Because it's holy armor." Really.
It's my fault for encouraging him earlier.
No, I mean, really, I don't. Yeah, Dungeons and Dad jokes. No, I know all about it. 8-bit, it's true. Anyway,
we should actually do something like I tweet out every week a random quote from the Stream Team Discord server with no context at all, and people will have to guess
how did this actually work?
How that actually happened.
Yep.
Because, for example, for today we could have me saying, "I can promise not to shoot you on your birthday." Make of that what you will.
You know, someone's just going to be like, "This shows you how GOG.com is completely falling apart. They can't even manage their own." You know.
Yes, I know. I was actually, somebody angrily messaged me why I'm not fixing GOG Galaxy.
Well, yeah, Pyron, why don't you get on that? Like, why don't you just fix it?
I don't know why I'm not doing it.
Listen, I mean, like, we need to get also, like, why have we not fixed everything about D&D? And, like, I mean, you know, and Talisman Adventures. You know, not that there's anything wrong at all that needs to be fixed. Sponsored by Pegasus Spila, but I'm just letting you know. Except for Mike's character needs to be fixed by Mike. Yes, Mike needs to fix that for himself. Anyway, it's a pleasure to have Pyron with us, and I look forward to seeing what Regina Augusta III gets into. Having encountered another sprite last time, which is very different from Regina, I would say. But that also brings us to the inimitable Darksaber 2K, who, again, I thank profusely for handling Moobot and Dashboard today. Saber, always a pleasure. And yeah, I imagine that, you know, for you, see, you never had like the soundboard stuff that you were working on. So I'm guessing for you, you're just perfectly prepared. Like Reginald Shun, one kind of character, very different from Myth. Wait, I have it. From the one in the other thing.
Your homework is to have that practiced for next
I have. If I were playing, I would be. I would have the other one. I've got that thing in my mind. It's a Welsh name that means something that isn't sausage, and that's what I know.
I like to make educational characters.
Yes, I'm gonna go find that now. And while I do that, how are you doing, Saber? How's life in the universe with you, and who are you playing in this campaign?
I'm also very good, thank you. I actually really lost track of time this afternoon.
Morthwell! Sorry, that's the name. I knew it. Morthwell.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I lost track of time playing RimWorld because I'm going to be picking up the relay save again tomorrow to keep it going. So I thought I'd get some practice in on it. And then I was like, oh, we start in 10 minutes. So, yeah, where'd the evening go? And like I said, I threatened I'm basically going to beat Mike around the head with the rule book until he learns to put proper notes on. But I will be playing, when I'm not stepping in as Ashflower occasionally, I will be playing Reginald Shoon, Druid Soulkeeper, who tends a graveyard and is currently hot on the heels of some scallywag that nicked something from one of the tombs he tends.
That's right, and that may have a profound effect on the world, theoretically, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Always a pleasure to have Saber with us. As I mentioned, Mike will be back with us next month, and that leads us, of course, to the amazing Tasty Chai, who is back. For those of you who missed Chai and were like, but what will happen with Chai? See, Chai is still here for Talisman. She's still here with us. Chai, how are you doing? It is good to see that you're in this highly furnished room, which is super furnished and is like all ready and all that kind of good stuff. No, you're in a new, I mean, I don't think new since last month, but, well, no, actually, I guess you are, because I don't think you were streaming from there. So it's a new place. So how's the new place treating you and all that kind of good stuff, and who are you playing today?
New place is good. We finished this room. We're remodeling our whole house. And so because the whole house was like 20 something years old, and I'm not joking, carpeted kitchen, carpeted master bathroom. We're cleaning it up.
Carpeted bathroom?
Yes,
Wow.
Carpeted bathroom.
That's
it is straight up 70s.
good work if you can get it. Yeah.
It's so bad, and it's all stained and awful. But this was one of those rooms that was like stained and awful, and so we have revamped it, and that's why it's empty. Also because we just don't own that much furniture. It's a big house. But that's what we've been doing. So life has been absolutely insane. I have literally not stopped since we moved. I'm just going from project to project to project to project to babysitting a goat. We have a goat now.
Okay. Well, I mean, the goat needs to pull its weight, I think. Like,
no, he's pulling his weight. He's eating the weeds.
Okay.
And that's what we want. We didn't want a lawnmower, so we got a goat.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So life's been good. Life's been good, and I'm sorry. I miss D&D, but I so don't have time. So yeah. Talisman is good, and Inanda's fantastic. So you guys are in good hands.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, I'm playing Muriel, who is an elven prophet. Background lore keeper, so I need to keep remembering that and being like, oh yeah, that's right, I know lore stuff. I should do lore checks. And yeah, she's just a little scatterbrained, just a little bit. Like she knows things, but doesn't know how to tell them to people. So she's working on that. Also, her tact with Regina is not great, but we're working on that too.
These are all works in progress.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know whether Regina has, can figure out anything yet, or whether Regina's just kind of like, what is this crew that I'm with, one way or the other. But it is a great pleasure to have Chai playing Muriel, and Saber playing Reginald, and Pyron Jade playing Regina, and all three of them playing Ashflower today, which means that I can fire up the music, and let's talk a little bit about what we saw last time. And we're going to play some forest music, because we are, spoiler alert, in a forest right now as we speak. The party has been on the trail, as Darksaber mentioned, of something which was taken from Reginald Shoon's graveyard, specifically a talisman, hey there, of great power, which was taken from the graveyard. And the crew, after being brought together in this way, first of all, had to try to track down where this thing was. And the person that they knew to ask about these things, like who would need them and where they would go, is the Enchantress. And so the party went overland, had a couple of choice encounters with goblins, and made it to the Enchantress's hut, whereupon they found not the Enchantress, but a toad. And it turned out that the Enchantress had turned herself into a toad, which, if you've played Talisman for any period of time, seems like a fitting end, but no. The party decided that they had to go deal with this problem, and so they went and tracked down a particular kind of grass, which was going to be able to turn the Enchantress back from a toad into the Enchantress, and dealt with the beetles. Regina in particular gave the beetles one of these, like, what for? You know, if you even think of moving, I'm going to, you know, home run you into next week, etc., etc. But they managed to escape that scenario, get back to the hut, and turn the enchantress back into her normal form. Whereupon she explained that the talisman had been taken by someone named Galdor, a former high priest of the temple, and that she suspected that it was related to the fact that his wife Philomena had died, and he had been so distraught that he had engaged in this forbidden ritual to try to resurrect her, and had taken the talisman for that purpose. The problem with messing with life and with death is that whenever you do that, something usually goes wrong, because that's not the way that the world is supposed to work, and so things end up functioning in a dangerous way. And so the enchantress did a spell of divination to reveal exactly where Galador could be found, and the party followed that information, followed the map, and eventually made their way into the deep dark woods, whereupon they were making great progress in our last session until they got to this stream. Now, at this stream, this deep, dark, wide stream, they found a fairy. Not, you know, a sprite like Regina, not someone with that kind of, you know, knowledge and ability and all that kind of good stuff, but instead they found Parisia, who was silly, I think is fair to say, a little more silly, and basically offered to help them cross the stream, but only if they were willing to do things like tell her a story. Whereupon Muriel painted this incredible picture and this amazing story, which basically seemed to relate very strongly to the current situation, and in fact to Parisia herself. Parisia was amazed. It was like a story that was just for her. And afterwards, she and Regina were able to go across, grab the boat, bring it back to this side, and the party crossed over the stream with this boat. And so that was the situation as the party left the side of the stream and then began to follow the path upwards to get to the place where supposedly they will find Galador and do what they must to bring a stop to his attempts to bring a creature, well, his wife, but who knows what it will become, back from the dead. And so with that said, I'm going to bring things over to the players. I'm going to actually start us right off with a test, and I will remind everyone first that each of the characters has one light fate, and I will begin with 4 dark fate, which is 1 for each of you, including Ashflower. It counts. It's a playable character. So those 4. And with all of that said, I believe we have Regina. I have at 17 out of 18 life. Is that right, Regina? That's what I have you out of? Yes?
I actually have myself at 18 out of 18 again.
Okay. I wonder if there was... Okay, maybe I missed
sure.
one. You may have taken a point of damage from somewhere along the way. I don't know, with maybe like...
I remember. Acorn to the head.
Oh, yeah.
Let me check what happened there, just so if I...
And then you picked it up, yelled at the tree that you're going to steal its children, and flew away.
That was a
That's
thing
right.
I did.
That
was
absolutely
a
happened.
thing.
Absolutely that
That was
happened.
actually a thing I did.
Yes. I mean, look, that happened. So
Yes.
17 out of 18.
Okay.
And then Reginald Chun, I have at 15 out of 15 life, I
Yep.
believe. And Ashflower is at 17 out of 17. That's a note for the 3 of you playing him as one. And Muriel is at 12 out of 12. I have you at, Chai.
Yes.
Okay. So with that said, I'm going to begin us with a test as you come to the edge of the woods to see if we can track down the passage through the woods. Because I don't think I had you do this. You hadn't yet come to Galador himself, I believe, right? I don't believe we had done this, yes? I think you had just gotten over the
ended on
stream.
the bank. Yeah, bank of the stream
what I
is what
thought.
I remember.
So what I'm going to ask is for everyone to make either a survival or a notice, that's wits, test. And to see whether any of you can find this passage. You can make a separate roll for Ashflower if you wish.
And if somebody wonders what to roll, we did have a nice flow chart.
Oh,
for
yes,
that.
yes. Where's it? I got to pull out your flowchart. That's right. the flow chart, which is just
Wait,
one
what?
second.
I do have the flowchart here.
Oh, triple
All right,
five.
here we go. I got it. So the check is: do you have the skill? If no, roll 3d6. If yes, do you also have a focus in this skill that fits the situation, like survival, focus, forest? If no, roll 3d6 plus your aspect. And if yes, you do have that, then it's 3d6 plus aspect plus 2. So that's what we're looking at. So with that said, Saber does not have the skill or does have the skill?
I have notice, and I get a +4 on that, and I rolled a triple five.
Wow. Okay. So you discover everything.
Let
Okay.
me just add a point of light fate.
I was just gonna say.
So
Rack 'em up.
what was it? We can do notice or survival, yes?
Ashflower has
That
notice.
is correct. Yes.
Is it notice wits or notice insight? And is
Notice
it survival?
wits. It's notice wits.
Notice wits and survival insight or survival metal?
Survival, I think, is. It doesn't say, so I would say insight would be the one for that.
Okay.
This one's for Ashflower.
Okay.
Let me quick check, but I'm pretty sure I don't have wits.
Okay. Let me
So
pull up
go
my
up.
fate. Hang on a second.
Ebenezer just broke down laughing. Just saying.
We've got a +1 light fate for Ashflower, who, just as a reminder, he did activate his Lay Walker ability at the end of last session, so it'd be active for this.
Right, and he set it so that people will be able to use it to get back to the bank.
Yes.
Where he made that test. Yep, that's right.
It's
Okay.
3d6 plus 4.
So let's see. So
I rolled a double, but I don't think it's a success.
So you have got so you've actually got an extraordinary. Let's start from the top down. First of all, Reginald, you have an extraordinary success, which means there are a couple of things to keep in mind. The first is you can see signs of passage through the forest. And in fact, you can actually see not only signs of passage, but you see one muddy boot print that was obviously leaving the other side of the stream and going into the forest. So your best guess is that somebody crossed the stream, did so relatively recently, and that there's more than one of them that did so. There are a number of them, presumably, that actually made this cross. So that's the first thing that you notice. Or that's the thing that I should say that you notice. Let's see. So let's take a look at, that was a triples plus great success. Oh, that's why we get an extraordinary success. Let's see. For Muriel, you don't see these things. You're just kind of like, it's a forest, and there's lots of trees. Definitely a lot of trees there. I think that's fair to say, for sure. And Regina's like, are you sure there are trees? Because I'm guessing there are trees. I'm actually going to assume that, Regina, you're just so irritated at the recent encounter with Parisia that you're just kind of like, can't believe that a self-respecting sprite would act that way, like that type of thing. I imagine you just seem to be distracted, would be my guess. So
I just don't trust them trees.
yeah,
trust
and
the
also
trees.
you've got to be careful
And
about the
single
trees.
one
That's
of
right.
them. I am watching them.
And actually, I would. That's right. And I would also say that let's see. Is that? That was. Which were you rolling for? Was it second roll?
Ashflower's the 13.
Okay. So Ashflower doesn't really see anything either. The only one who does see something, fortunately, is for you, Reginald. And fortunately, you saw things by a lot. So yeah, you are 100%. You are in that spot. So, all right, you now know where everything else is. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, Lone Wolf 67. Never trust the tree people. That's exactly right. You definitely don't want to do that. Welcome back to the DRM free community. Thank you for the sub. Okay.
Knows what's up.
So you know what the deal is, Reginald. No one else has any clue, but you do.
So Reginald, spotting this, crouches down for a closer look, and he's like looking around the ground, and he's getting lower and lower, almost to his nose is to the ground, and then, like, without really thinking, he starts crawling off on all fours, like a dog, following the trail.
Okay. Your actual ghost dog, by the way, follows you. Boots is behind you. So Regina and Muriel, you see, and Ashflower, you see Reginald crawling off into the forest.
I follow him
I
and
follow
whisper. I follow him and whisper. Is it because of the trees?
Might be because of the trees. I don't know.
Yes, might be because of the trees.
Unless something smells really good down there.
Yes, that could also be, but I'm not going down there.
Me neither. We'll just follow him.
Yes, we follow him.
Yes.
Yes.
Hal, are you going to continue to keep that stance and motion all the way through?
No, Reginald hears the whispering behind him and suddenly realizes what he's doing. Stands up, sort of turns around a bit awkwardly, goes, "Sorry about that. Old habit."
No, we understand. We understand.
Boots looks
Footprints.
quite disappointed, by the way, that you stood up.
I point down at the ground. I'm like, "Multiple people. See the boot prints?"
When you pointed at the ground and said multiple people, I thought you had buried somebody.
I look around. It's like,
I think that's
Not
a very
here.
reasonable thing to assume.
Oh, you think multiple people came here before us?
aye, quite recently too.
You would have thought that Fairy might have informed us, but no.
I think she was a bit distracted.
It's because of the trees.
Well, you did steal the children.
Yes, I did. Rightly so.
Aye, let's not push your luck out in nature.
I make a threatening motion towards my last acorn, just in case the tree tries something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you plant it outside the forest, that might teach them the same lesson.
We will see. We will see.
Very threatening.
Reginald leans back a little bit at the intensity of that statement.
We'll see, tree. Ready, 1 second.
So, multiple people came here.
Looks that way. You can see the way the
So-
mud's pressed down over there. You can see
So
the
the-
scrape on the grass over there.
Okay.
And the smell.
So the thieving priest has people visiting.
I can't say who they are. They just had feet.
Oh,
Are
well,
they big feet? Should we be worried about giants?
How big do the footprints seem to me?
I would say that with your extraordinary success that you can tell that they are, first of all, human-sized feet, and secondly, that they are boots that are being worn.
Regular people-sized boots.
Oh, well, that's nice. I don't like giants. I mean, at least I don't think I do. I mean, I think I won't at some point, but I've never really met one yet. Anyway,
Trolls is all right. Wouldn't want to meet a giant.
have you met a troll?
One or two. They usually maintain bridges. Vital public servant.
Well, that's very nice of them. I should find more bridges.
Aye, most bridges in the area been in several generations of troll family.
Ah, I didn't know that they were generational creatures.
how
So many
can you
stereotypes.
how can you not be generational? I mean, you do need to have generations before you, otherwise that wouldn't be you.
No, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, that makes sense. I guess I didn't say my words right. Basically, I meant I didn't think that they, like, stayed together, like, in generational work. I didn't think they inherited work so much as they just sort of chewed on bones.
Oh, you can do both, I think.
I guess you could do both, huh? They could chew on bones and maintain bridges. That's true.
Okay, so no trolls.
No sign of no trolls.
Good. So we were going to get the talisman thing back from the thieving priest, right?
Aye.
Maybe these people had the same plan. Maybe if we follow the prince, we will find the the thieving priest.
Seems reasonable. Church
Well,
is
then.
supposed to be just ahead.
Maybe we should follow the prince quietly and in a nondescript fashion. So that way we are not spotted.
Aye, seems sensible. Here, Boots, lad. You'll go ahead. Tell us if you see anything. So I'm actually using Boots as a follower at this point.
Okay. So, yeah, and actually, let's talk about that because I don't think we've had an opportunity to use him in that way. So I'm going to pop up my... Where we go. There's the thing and the stuff with the business. Okay. So, we're talking about scent tracking, I think, is what we're looking at, right?
Yep.
Reginald? So, are you... Oh, actually, wait. Maybe we're not doing that. Are we... Because actually, I think... Yeah, we had a discussion about this because he's a spirit, but he's also a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So... Okay, so you're doing... So, there's one of two choices. I think you're doing Insubstantial Scout, actually, right? Which allows you to... Okay, as opposed to the other one. All right. So, let's see. So this is going to be using him as a follower means you're going to use 1 loyalty that you're going to spend. And he had loyalty 3, so he's going to be at loyalty 2. And he's going to go off to do this. Okay, and... All right. We are going to see what happens, and this requires me to roll. All right. As I pull up my dice roller. There we go. All right, so let's see. Okay. Do you have what its craft, what Boots' craft is?
I don't. He didn't really have any stats specified.
Okay. So, then I guess the craft would be... So what's your craft then?
My craft. I'm happy you asked. It's 5.
Okay. So... All right. So, and are you waiting in one place while, like, you're waiting, you send him off and you're waiting for him to come back? Okay.
Well, Reginald is. I don't know what the other
That's
two
true. It's up to whether
plan to
you
do.
all want to wait for his spirit
Other 3.
dog to return.
I'm looking for 2 pretty leaves. The more colorful, the better.
Okay. I think you can find that fairly close by.
I'll take them, and then I'm gonna hold them at my outstretched arms like this while flying.
You suddenly see a flying tree that looks similar to...
No, pretty leaves, like flower petals or autumn leaves, something pretty.
Ah, okay. Okay. So you've got
Good.
that. Muriel, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm just, looking around, thinking. Definitely lost in thought, kind of had that glossy eye look. Nothing in particular.
Okay, so in about 10 minutes or so, Reginald, Boots comes drifting back and is able to give you some information. The information, there's kind of good news and bad news. The good news is that, in fact, he has found the place in question. There is an abandoned chapel, or what looks like a chapel, not that far from here, actually. And the tracks that you were following and the sort of, the general path leads to that spot. Moreover, he can tell you that there are 2 armored men who are standing outside of it right now and sort of looking around, obviously sort of guards. The bad news is that when he was sort of making his way through, one of the guards started pointing and yelling and jumping up and down, which suggests that he may have been seen when he came through the woods. For whatever that means. They didn't come after him, he's pretty sure. But these are all the things that he thinks at you.
So Reginald's just sort of standing there going, I see. He turns to the others and he says, "Boots saw 2 armored humans guarding the church. They may have seen him, though. Although, ghost in a graveyard, not totally surprising. But they may
Okay.
be keeping an eye out."
I don't see a problem with just 2 armored humans.
What are you doing?
You said that we need to, like, hide? I'm a butterfly.
Oh, that's actually really convenient. Oh my gosh.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, you're so pretty.
Nobody will...
Ellie, the idea that you sort of drop a little bit as the leaves fall. Like,
Nobody will suspect me.
No one will know. That's true. You're just a butterfly.
Yes.
Oh, shoot. What will I be?
Yes.
I can't be a ghost.
No, you can also not be a butterfly, sadly.
I can't be a butterfly. No, I'm too tall.
No. No.
Hmm.
Can you be a bush?
Might be able to be a bush. Is there
Bush.
foliage on the ground to be a bush?
oh, there's definitely foliage all around you.
Aha! I will be a bush. A very.
I can put leaves on you.
Oh my gosh! I should be a bush. Let's become
Yes.
bush.
Okay, I'll grab leaves and, like, stick it on her wherever they stick.
I just grab a bunch of branches that have leaves on them, and I'm just like trying to like stuff them in my clothes.
Okay.
Highly effective. What Reginald, as this is going on, are you doing anything to disguise yourself or anyone or?
No, but I'm just quickly looking up some Ashflower stuff.
Yeah. He's the assassin. He should be stealthy. He has stealth, wilderness. There.
Yeah, I was also looking at his preparation skill.
Mm-hmm.
Make an attack against an enemy you've studied and prepared to kill. So, he hasn't really seen them, so I can't. No, I don't think that would apply.
Hmm. Okay, but I think he's still stealthy.
Yeah, I agree. Stealth. He'll at least be concealing himself, I think.
Okay. All right. With that information in hand, are you heading onwards then, with the knowledge that Boots has provided you?
Yeah, carefully.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll be stealthy
As a bush. Yeah.
and butterfly.
So, as you make your way fairly quietly, although there's occasional rustling behind as the, the wings of the wings of Regina with the extra leaves, make a little bit of noise. But you make your way through the woods without these paths, and for a while you're sort of moving along in direction. Then you begin to notice something odd, which is that these dark, deep shadows begin to cover the forest floor. It is somewhat later in the afternoon, but still, the air feels icy in your lungs as you move closer along. You hear nothing except for menacing, unintelligible whispers deep in the gloom. You feel as if your every move is being watched by 1,000 pairs of eyes. You hike along the trail for a few minutes before you come to a clearing, and Boots indicates to you, Reginald, that this is where he stopped right at the edge of this initially. Among the vines and weeds, you can make out the weathered stone ruins of an ancient chapel. Suddenly you hear, "Ha!" A cry of pain from the direction of the chapel breaks the silence.
Just stop and look around. Like, just freeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks. Somebody screamed. Maybe they're distracted. Let's go.
Probably hurted at least.
Go fast.
Let's go.
Do we see the two guards that Boots mentioned?
You do, in fact. Hey, Kilgore, what's up? You do, in fact. As you look down below, you can see that there are two bandits or guards or armored men, but one of them is limping and whimpering in pain. The other one helps him to the front of this chapel and then lowers him to the ground. And the one who was, who's kind of limping and whimpering, who obviously must have been the one who cried out, is favoring one leg and appears to be wounded. And I'll give you all to sort of take a chance and see if you can figure out what exactly might have happened. If all of you want to make a notice, or any of you who wish, can make a notice, this is a wits check to see if you can see why they're favoring their leg. Okay.
Okay, and Ashflower gets a +2.
Okay. All right. So, Ashflower and Reginald, you don't really see exactly what happened. They looked, obviously the person's hurt, but Regina, you think because you've had encounters like this before, and Muriel, you think because you've had a chance to actually look exactly at how they're favoring their leg, is your best guess because of the way that they're holding, the person who's injured is holding their leg and then every so often pulls their head back in pain, and they're pointing to their upper calf basically on their leg, and pointing down, and they pull up their sort of pants below their kind of leather armor, and out the middle of their leg, both Muriel and Regina, you can make out what look like two bite marks. If you had to guess, you'd say this one was bitten by a snake.
Ooh.
And they are clearly in pain and not moving around very well. And the other guard has his back turned to you, obviously in the clearing, sort of attending to his fellow guard.
Oh, he was bitten by a snake. There might be snakes in the grass. Be careful, you people who walk on the ground.
Thanks.
I've seen some
is
snakes
there evidence of a
climb.
snake? Do we see a snake anywhere?
Not immediately around you.
No. Okay.
Well, I am a bush, so the snake is not going to bother me.
I want to sneak Ashflower forward.
Okay. To where?
Right. Well, to cover. It's a graveyard, isn't it? One of the outer graves closest to where we are currently.
Not a graveyard.
Oh.
Chapel. It's an abandoned chapel, so there's no graves on the outside of it. I mean, there may be some behind or something, but where you're looking at, you don't see that. In fact, I think, let me just double check and see if I have this picture. I'm going to... Give me just 1 second. I want to make sure I'm not revealing something I shouldn't be. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring folks over to this. Now, the two guards are... No, not that. Find me the guard. Maybe I need to do something that seems more appropriate for the circumstances. There we go. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So here they are. Each one of them apparently 6 by 6 meters. No. Okay, this one down here. And this one like this. So the one is sitting on the ground. This one opposite is tending to him as we speak. And then we have all of you who are... Oh, do I not have your... Okay. So I need to copy and bring you all over then. Okay. There is... All right, there's Regina. And let me get... Reginald. I'm glad that we have the wings properly down there. Okay. And then we have Ashflower and Muriel. Don't know if I have figures for all of you yet. We need to try to get these character sheets up here on the thing at some point so that we can find where they are. Okay, here we go. So we've got Ashflower. Okay, and one more is going to be Muriel. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So you are all standing up here looking down at them. So it's forest. There is a path that leads up to the chapel, and then the inside of the chapel itself. And the one here is at the front step, basically just sort of seated on the front step right now, kind of massaging their leg and whimpering, and occasionally throwing their head back in pain.
So I think we should have our assassin like go closer through the bushes, like this. What do
Yeah,
you think?
Well, I noticed he's got a blowgun, and I'm thinking that probably feels like being bitten by a snake. I'm just trying to figure out see what the specifics of it are.
I'm trying to look and see, do I have like medicine or something or healing so I could run up and be like, oh, I got it, and like distract them. But I don't. I could set them on fire or make them very sleepy. Those are my only choices.
I was going to say, you could still pretend to be healing them, just like, ah!
That's true. I do have I have persuasion, but persuasion in debate. So I'm very good at telling people why I know something.
Oh, why should I trust a stranger? You're like, well, I have 3 reasons as to why. We begin with
exactly.
So
None of them
Ashflower,
are fallacious.
Ashflower does have a blowgun, and they have a poisoner's kit.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, let's see. With that poisoner's kit...
That said, we don't know these people are hostile.
It's true.
You see some men with swords standing outside a ruined church, and you jump to conclusions.
It's like, must be terrible people. I'm gonna. Yeah, you decide what you can decide what you want to do with them as I quickly look up this poisoner's kit.
So, do we just like rush them?
You do know that I am a spellcaster, right? Rushing is not a
Yes.
thing that I do.
You could rush after me. I can show you.
I could rush very far behind you. Yes, that is a thing I could do.
That's
and then
good
stay
because I
well
saw-
out of range.
Okay, we could. I mean, could you? You made the beetle sleep, right? That was annoying.
I did do that. That's true. But the beetle was already also in pain. So
Well, that guy over there is also in pain.
that's true. But if I make him sleep, he might die.
Of what?
Poisonous snake?
Well,
It happens.
you think he will not? You think he will not die if he's awake?
Maybe.
I think people die awake as well.
Dang it. Ah, I wish I had paid more attention in poisonous reptiles and stupid classes I don't listen to.
I think he would feel better if he was sleeping. I always feel better when I'm sleeping.
I mean, that's true, but I feel like there's something you have to do to neutralize the poison. I feel like I was taught this. Hmm.
But if we still have to deal with the thieving priest, and if this guy is like bothering us all the time, this will not help. So maybe if he was sleeping, that would be better. Otherwise, we could just ask Ashflower to kill them because he apparently likes killing people. He said something like that.
Hi.
it's kind of his thing, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
I think he said he maintains the balance.
Also something like this, yes. And I mean, if we four are alive, maybe these two need to be dead. For
Dude.
balance reasons.
For balance
Doesn't
reasons. That's what I was
really
gonna say.
work that
Is
way.
something out of balance?
I don't know. He was very cryptic on it, I think. It was a mystical thing. I didn't quite get it.
Okay, well, I can try to make at least one of them sleep. Try. Okay. Because we can
How
see
cool.
them, right?
Yes.
Because that's all it says. It
You
just
can
says
see
an
them.
enemy you can see.
Yep, you can see them. They have not noticed you as of yet.
I'd like to try and sneak Ashflower to there,
To
where the arrow
there.
is.
Okay.
where the arrow's pointing, basically, but,
Okay.
in cover.
Okay. To that point, you're able to do even without a check. Okay.
Okay. I can't move him, but he's where the arrow is.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you control over that.
Ah, thanks.
So...
Question, if the other
Okay,
one
there you
was
go.
in pain as well, could you also make him sleep? Just asking.
It appears as though I can. Yes, I could try.
So if they... How much pain does he need to be in?
Not very much, apparently. Sorry, I muted myself. I would try to unmute myself.
Okay.
So it says, let's see, defense test is craft, and the difficulty is their threat. So apparently they don't really need to be in pain. I just need to roll well.
You just told me they need to be in pain.
I know. Well, I thought so. I thought that had something to do with that. But now that I'm trying to remember why it worked on the one beetle. And I think it's because that one wasn't buffed with Dark Fate. I think that's what it was.
It could well be.
Okay.
I look at Reginald. Where did Ashflower go?
He went that a ways.
Okay, thank you. Why did he go there?
Said something about giving him a sting.
Well then,
Maybe he's gone to become a bumblebee.
he could have said that earlier. We could have helped. Do bumblebees have stingers? I thought that was like just normal bees.
Bumblebees do.
Huh. And so I learned something new today.
Reginald would like to at least get close to where Muriel is, so he can also have line of sight on the two.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I think I can't. Yeah, I can't move him.
Oh. What? Why is no
You
one able
super
to
glued
move?
him to the table.
I don't know why. That's odd. All right. Anyway,
Telling you already.
I just
can't move-
realized Regina has little wings. That makes me so happy.
yeah.
I can't
Okay.
move. I can't move
Now
like
you,
a
now you should be
by the
able to
way.
move everybody, I think.
Thank you.
Nope.
Okay, well, I finally found my notes on spellcasting. So, whenever the party is ready, I can make one of them go to sleep. The one that's writhing, I believe, would be the best one to put to sleep.
Okay.
Or should I wait? So now I'm thinking, what if I try to sleep the guy who's not writhing because the other one's already writhing? Like he's not gonna get up and attack us.
Yeah, but it's less conspicuous if the guy who was bitten by a snake just falls unconscious.
I guess that's true. What are we trying to accomplish here? Are we just trying to get in?
I think so, maybe.
Yeah.
Regina is not big on plans. There are two guys. They need to get away.
Why don't we just throw a stick and go, look, a distraction?
Because nobody has offered that option yet, otherwise I might try.
Oh, you're a butterfly. You can't throw sticks. All right.
That'd be a stick insect.
You could be a stick insect.
If I was a stick insect you would throw me, I will not be a stick insect. Also, I know that dogs do things to sticks that were thrown. I look at Boots.
Boots
Like
wags.
Yes.
All right, so as I understand it, you are thinking about, you have Ashflower waiting over in the side there. You've got line of sight on, the rest of you have line of sight on these two guys, and you were considering putting one of them to sleep, Muriel, if I understand that correctly. Is that right?
Yes, putting one
Yeah.
of them to sleep, then poisoning the other.
Poisoning the other?
That's Ashflower's doing.
That's
We don't have to worry.
Ashflower. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that when I was looking at my notes.
We could write off a lot of atrocities tonight by going, oh, Ashflower did that.
It was Ness. It was Ashflower.
How could you destroy that people's village? Well, Ashflower was really... He didn't say
come
much, but
back.
we could tell from his expression.
Mike comes back next month. He's wanted in 17 towns.
Exactly.
Seriously, they could have just extinguished the fire.
That's right. Okay, so is that your order of operations? You're going to try the sleep first, and then immediately thereafter try to poison the other one using the blowgun, if I understand that correctly.
Yeah.
Although, do you have a poisoner's kit reference for me by chance, Saber? You see there? Because
Shooting the blow dart at the calf again.
Now, it's listed on Ashflower's sheet, so let me have a look.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Poisons. So hang on, that's going to be under equipment then. Damn it, Mike, page references. Page references!
I know, right?
Equipment, here we go. Right, he is a assassin. Yeah, it does specify poisoner's kit, but indexed only specifies poisons on page 222.
Yeah,
Right,
we couldn't go. That's the game master's part.
So I imagine it's going to be an injected poison.
Yep, okay. So, where do you see the poisoner's kit?
That was listed in the equipment at the end of character creation. Hang on.
Oh, okay, I thought you found it in the equipment list.
Well, it specifies it as a piece of player equipment for
Yeah.
the assassin.
What I want to know is how long it takes for
I
it to work.
Hang on, 222.
Okay, so
Here we go. The poison does not. Hang on. Injected poisons often take effect immediately.
right. No, I didn't mean that. I meant how long it would take him to actually poison something, to like make something poisoned that he will then use.
Mhm. Well, it's a blow dart on needles, which implies it could be quite a quick process to me, but
Yeah.
You know,
and
I would
probably
think just
the
like
injected
dip
poison with that.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
we apparently
alright.
need to decide which poison.
Right. That would be the other question.
It's very
How-
complicated.
Sleep or paralysis?
Either works for a purpose.
Okay.
Can they scream for help if they're paralyzed?
Yeah, is this going to be like Deus Ex where you hit them in the neck and they just go, ah, and run around for 5 minutes?
Oh, there's a list of poisons. Oh my.
Yeah, I see the example poisons.
I think we should go with
Goodness me.
sleep because then they'll both be asleep and they can't yell when they're asleep.
That's true.
Right. I guess I wondered if you were doing sleep first, and then he was bringing up the rear, as it were, with a backup. So if it doesn't actually sleep them both, then
Can
you're
you
poisoned as
sleep
well.
them both?
I could sleep them both, yes.
But then you would be out of 2 spells, right?
I would be out of 2 spells, yes.
Yeah, then
But
maybe
they'd
not.
be asleep though.
They would
Yeah,
be
but-
asleep, that's true.
But teamwork makes the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, literally, because they'll be dreaming. Come on, people.
It's true.
So I think one from Muriel, one from Ashflower might be best.
Okay. And do you have one of those deals where you're like, okay, 1, 2, like one of those deals like you're signing them
Yeah.
off? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Muriel, we'll have you do yours first. As I look at it, the sleep spell is requiring you, I believe, to make a test.
Yeah, I just rolled it because I found my notes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I rolled a 23, which is against the creature's threat.
23. That is. Let me see. Do I want to? Yeah, no. That's more than their threat for sure. So,
Okay.
immediately, and you. I'm sorry. You were doing this on the one who was hurt or was not hurt.
The one that was hurt.
Okay. So he's just like, and the other one's like, oh gosh, wake up, what are you doing? Wake up. He slaps him. Psst, wake up. Psst. A couple times. Psst, psst. What? Thing to sleep, snake.
While that's happening, Ashflower pops up out of a bush and goes,
Yes. Okay. And that is going to require, yep.
so that's a 19 with a double 3.
Yep. 19 is also going to be above the threat. So, okay, so and what did we decide the poison was that he was using?
Sleep.
Okay. So, same kind of thing. All right, and I think works pretty much close to instantaneously. So he's like, what did you, and then, he's giving me the, catching snake. It's infected sleep. And he falls over. And so both of them are now snoring away on the front steps.
Hey, let's get closer.
Okay. I'm going
Should
to ask
we
you
get
to make...
closer?
It's all of us.
Oh, I thought we should send boots.
Me? Okay, I can get closer. No problem.
I mean, I guess you could go. I was just thinking a ghost dog might be a little less conspicuous.
Don't want to wear him out.
Okay.
Can ghost dogs get tired?
Dead. Tired.
It looks at you and tilts its head.
Oh, I see. Well then,
Okay, so...
I can just fly over there. I'm a butterfly. Nobody will suspect me.
True, you are a butterfly. Okay, go.
Yes. Okay, I stealth over.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to make a stealth check, please. This is, if you don't have stealth, then it will be agility. And the question is, do you have that skill?
I do have stealth, yes.
You do? Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I do have
Stunning.
stealth.
Is there a focus, by the way?
No focus, so
Okay.
just plus agility in this case, which
Yep.
I also have.
All right, let's see it.
It's 3d6 plus this.
All right. 3 plus
16
5 plus 4 plus
butterfly.
4 is 16. Okay. So you float over fairly quietly, flapping your leaves, wildly, as you go over. And you probably end up, I would say, about here, let's say. So these guys are currently asleep. In fact, I should put down that they
Okay,
are asleep.
I move their weapons away from them
Okay. All right, you can do that with both.
and just put them like behind the bush or something. Hey,
I accidentally gave you a sleeping thing, and I figured you didn't want to be asleep. Okay, now I took it away. Okay, so you now move the weapons behind the bush. All right, sounds good. They're both disarmed and snoring.
okay. I give a thumbs up to the team.
Reginald briefly looks surprised, but conceals it immediately.
Okay, and there's a window, right? This white line.
There are, yeah, you have to float up a little bit higher, but yes, you could.
I can
get
do
over
that.
to those.
I do a peek through the window.
Okay. So what you see inside is as follows. Okay. Inside this place, for at least the first half of it, I guess I would say, you can see the following. There is a cracked stone floor inside this chapel, and it is littered with the rubble of toppled statues. Light streams into the room through the gaping holes where ornate windows once stood. So you're really looking through one of the holes that used to be a window. The interior has obviously been exposed to the elements for uncounted years. But there are rows of ceremonial candles which cast an eerie flickering glow throughout the room. 5 humanoid figures, I think I'll reveal the rest because you can see from there. 5 humanoid figures that I haven't placed yet, but trust me, they're there, surround a roughly circular hole at the far end of the room where an altar once stood. One of the figures is holding a golden talisman aloft, and he is reading from a scroll.
I do point like towards the window and like, because that's apparently how people read. I make like hectic gestures to.
Does she want us to go? She wants us to go, right?
She could just want an acorn.
You should throw an acorn at her.
I should mention, by the way, that the 2 standing right here that are facing your direction look to be also bandits like the ones that are outside that are currently sleeping. But the other 2, so these 2 look like that. But there are 2 other figures, which I haven't placed yet here, that are facing away from you, Regina, and you can't see what they look like.
That looks like come here. I will go over there, but very quietly.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, Muriel, I'm going to ask you to make a stealth check as well. And also, Reginald, if you're going to be doing that.
And Ashflower would join them as well, being
Okay.
closer.
So yeah, stealth checks for everybody.
Okay.
And this is
I'll
again
do
based on
mine
agility.
last. Okay. So hang on, let me get Ashflower because I'm pretty sure he's going to have a stealth bonus. I'm going to assume we're not in wilderness for this.
No, I'd say you're in wilderness.
Ooh, okay. And this one is definitely for Ashflower.
Okay. 19, okay. Yeah, he
Okay,
moves over
and-
very quietly to the bush.
Yeah. I'm saving
Mistakenly
the best
jumps
for
behind
last.
Muriel. He's like, oh, I thought you were. Just kidding. Aha. So here, we have a great success, I believe. Yeah. So we've got a great success, which means that you head over with no difficulty at all, and are able to come up alongside where the others are. Floating above you is Regina, who's like still looking in the hole up above. So she's still above you, but otherwise the rest of you are down below. Although I don't think Muriel, you haven't made it yet, have you, or have you? What was that? Did you do that already? Was that 13?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
13.
you make your way over, not quite as quietly.
I'm a bush.
Yeah.
I'm a bush.
The bush moves over. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. So cardboard box style. There's no exclamation point that pops up. Okay, so you get to the side of this building, and then notice the front door is ajar slightly. And of course, right above you, fluttering and looking sternly down at you while flapping her leaf-covered her leaf holding hands is Regina.
I come down a bit and whisper, 5 humans? At least 2 of them armed, and 1 is having the talisman.
Reginald looks up sharply at that.
They are at the end of the room. And the one with the talisman is reading stuff to the others. So, and 2 have their backs to us, and 3 are looking in this direction. And the 2 that have their backs to us are still invisible.
Do you see any other way in?
The big window behind the thieving priest, is that still intact?
That is mostly broken down, although it looks a little bit more intact than the one up front here. But not really. I mean, there's mostly, it's kind of broken and so on, so it doesn't look completely solid to the outside, no.
So is it like broken enough that I would think like we can walk through, or is it not at floor level?
No, it's not at floor level. It's definitely
okay.
higher, but it's not like a ton of feet over. It's probably, I don't know, 8 feet off the ground is the bottom part of it, and then
So 8
it goes up
Celtics?
from there. Yes, 8 Celsics.
Okay. Well, that's pretty high.
Actually, I don't know about that. Celsic is more than a foot tall, I think.
3 feet.
3 feet. So it'd be more like 2.5 Celsics high is the bottom of the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a big broken window at the end, at about a little higher than Reginald. And it's mostly broken. We could like climb up and jump in there. But that's the only other thing. I mean, I could fly just through there and like attack them from behind, and you go here. I don't know.
Not really one for climbing. Remember the tree?
Yes, I do remember the tree. I do remember the tree.
You were conquered by the tree.
Yes, but I kidnapped his acorns.
You did. I still have mixed feelings about this. We need to have a talk about this.
No.
Okay.
Well, you can do the talking. I'm very tolerant that way.
8 feet's about 2.5 meters. Yeah. Thanks, Vectlife.
So, you could go. I could go to the back and then like attack them through the window, like a surprise butterfly.
You and Ashflower might be best from that direction.
Okay. And then when you hear like the I think we're gonna make noise when that happens, and then you just come through the door. How about that?
Sounds best.
Yes. Let's do this.
Okay. So, you are, Regina, going to fly around to the back to
Yes.
here, as I understand it?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that. And then,
And I will also drop my wings now and arm myself instead.
okay. So the wings are gone. You no longer have the pretty butterfly stance. You've now morphed into attack mode.
Yes.
Okay. You've transformed. You do that as you transform into your actual attack form. Okay. Do you have a signal set up as to when the rest of you are going to attack?
When we make noises, the others will come through the door, is what we said. If nobody had a better idea, I mean, you can go with Regina's plan. That's a thing.
Just second guessing myself on what might be best for Ashflower, since he's technically meant to be sneaky, and jumping in with the loud, angry ball of fury might not be the best use for him.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. What does he have?
I mean, the
short
blowgun kind of
blowgun
worked.
He could climb up to the window and do a blowgun first. I don't mind. But they might just see him because it's like a window.
Wait, what's this giant horned shadow that's appeared over us? That's a good point. What direction is the sun shining?
Oh, that's a good question. Trying to think. I believe we said that this is afternoon, which means it would probably be on the west side. So I would say the sunlight is probably coming that way,
Okay.
right? So shining down from the left side through the building to the right.
So it should be fine.
Wait, what?
Basically.
It's evening, so the sunlight is coming from the west.
It's
that
yeah,
makes
exactly,
sense.
exactly. So
Okay,
coming
yeah,
from the
I
west.
can see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. Much more than it just did in my head.
Okay.
How smashed up are these statues as well?
They're pretty broken down. They are clearly kind of cracked and open, and they've been toppled over too. It's unclear whether or not this was recently done, or whether just over time, whether there have been the equivalent of grave robbers or people who came in and defaced it. Unclear about that, but
Okay.
so
maybe
yeah, that's right.
Ashflower there then, and he could start. Well, assuming he can get to the window, maybe paralyze one of them with a paralyzing toxin.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that for Ashflower at least. If everyone agrees.
Okay, and then I jump in and kill them all, and you come through the door.
Maybe not necessarily in that order, but that's the plan.
Now, from this side also, I can tell you now that you're both, I should have mentioned this before when you went to that side, Regina. So Regina and Ashflower can both now see that the cloaked figures that were facing away from you from the door are actually two skeletons that stand there. There's sort of vacant eyes looking down at the hole. But they are definitely, though undead, functional. So you've got two skeletons, two of these bandits, and then this dude.
Looks like you did 2 test runs.
Oh, great. Necromancy.
Yeah,
Never ends well.
No, it's always awful and stinky.
It's always the ghouls that get the blame.
I'm not blaming you. You didn't raise those guys. Someone else did. Because you were with us. So, like, you obviously didn't do that.
Well, some of them misguided too.
Can we hear the guy who's reading, or no?
If you come to the door, you can absolutely hear it, I think.
Yeah. Well, since we're in front, I'm like behind
Just
the
kind of
door,
leaning around.
but
Okay.
right there.
So yeah, so you can hear him. So you can see, and his eyes are closed, by the way, and he has this talisman held up. No, wait, he's reading from a scroll. Never mind. I take that back about his eyes being closed. They're not closed. But he is holding the talisman in one hand and the other his scroll, and is continuing to read from it. And in the omnis nomane nisamane philomena omnes, like a lot of the language is not like comprehensible to you, but every so often there's a word that he says that sounds familiar.
I ready one of my javelins and wait for Ashflower to do its thing, and then his thing, and then I'll do my thing.
Okay. And that's what you hear, Muriel, just this droning from the guy holding the talisman.
As a lore keeper, would I recognize anything like that?
I think that's possible. Let me have you make a lore skill check.
Could Reginald as well, since he does have lore too?
Yes, absolutely. And this would be wits, I believe.
Okay.
If you have a focus in... A focus in, I would say, history would be another
Not
option.
me.
No, not
Okay.
me.
So then just using that plus your aspect.
Oh, Lord.
I slept during that class, apparently.
Yeah, that is a fail. You're like, what? Who? Where? What is the guy? I don't. These people who say things that are things.
Words are weird.
Yeah, they really, it's just one of those deals. And was that your role also, Reginald?
Yeah, 14.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know exactly what it is, except Reginald. You don't know this, Muriel, but Reginald, you know that this is definitely ritualistic in nature. This is something there's some magic ritual that's underway, but what it is or what it's designed to do, at least from just checking automatically, you don't know. You can probably put two and two together maybe, but you don't know for sure. Muriel, you really don't know what the hell he's doing.
Okay. Guess we're both in position by the door then.
So that then would leave you to, I guess, Ashflower? If that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, would like to... Let's have a look. Probably the closest one to him. So if you'd like to try a paralyzing blow dart on this gentleman here.
Okay. Now he's going to need to make a check to get up on the outside because the window is up a little bit, and he needs to do that and then also steady his blowgun and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to ask him to make... let me see. I guess... And... Oh, man. You have to look at the equivalent of the acrobatics check.
Athletics.
Yeah, I guess athletics.
Okay.
Would be what we want here, yeah.
So would that be athletics agility?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, is it worth spending a light fate on this? No. Well.
Yes, no. Okay. So Ashflower begins to climb his way up, but that is not going to succeed. And he gets about a third of the way up and then starts to kind of scrabble. He's holding onto the side of the window, and it's the stone is sort of crumbling beneath him even as he goes. And then he's kind of like, and and does not have his blowgun, and then his blowgun bangs into the wall on the side of the window, and the two bandits here, like, whoosh, whoosh, and he says, "Eh!" And this guy in the cloak stops reading and turns around, and he says, "Wait one moment, my wife is here." Yes.
This is really scary because the necromancer was trying to summon his wife.
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh shoot.
Do you think I can chuck my javelin into the hand he holds the talisman with? He holds the talisman with?
Maybe. I was just gonna try and make him go to sleep. So he doesn't continue ceremonying. But your way would be way more fun.
Yeah, but I wonder what I have to roll for that to work.
I'm kidding. I'm worried that his threat is 58 or something. It's an impossible roll to even do.
What is my strength? So I could do that, yeah. I mean, he will not be heavily armored, I hope. Because of
Sorry,
being
bear
a
with me one
priest.
second. Just dealing with a quick family thing. I'll be right back. I'm here, but I just have to do something quick.
Yeah, I'm just perusing my spells again. Need to refresh my memory. There it is.
Is everybody else drawing on Mike's character sheet? No,
I
it's
mean,
just me. Okay.
Not literally because it's digital, but
Yeah. That's still adding the things that need to be added.
like pages.
Not pages, but for the skills, which the things that are governing them, like athletics can be brawn, agility, or metal. Notice is wits for senses, but insight for intuition. Stealth is agility, and all of this. Because he putting it in on there.
I mean, that's no wonder he was confused.
Yeah. I didn't actually put what aspects they related to. I just put the modifiers on mine. Mine, Reginald's.
I will just copy this over to his character sheet, and then we're gonna hand it back, and he will be so happy.
This would be so appreciative of us fixing his crappy work.
We are helping.
Yeah, that's not so good.
Psychic attack.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
Sadly, psychic attack will not be useful here.
Yeah.
So when you turn, so let me just finish that as you're figuring out what you wanted him to do. So he, so they turn around, and as you sort of look down upon the group there, Ashflower and Regina, you can see that the person dressed in the red robe that you see there, holding the talisman and holding the scroll, you see that his facial features twist into a sneer. And he says, "I don't understand what you're doing here. What I am doing here is of no concern of yours. Leave now, and I will allow you to depart with your lives intact."
You stole stuff.
Yeah, Reginald steps in through the doorway at this point. He's like, "You disturbed the balance." And it is the most emotion you have heard from him the entire time. Just cold fury.
And he turns and he says, "The balance. Is that what you call it? The thing which took away someone beloved to me. But there is a balance, I suppose, for you. Why? Because you enjoy shoveling dirt on corpses, ghoul? That may be your decision to make, but mine is not for the grave or my love." And sort of halfway turns back. You notice that his companions now, like, one is sort of turned this way, one is turned this way. Like everyone's got like head on a swivel, looking in both directions, that type of thing.
I wanted to delete my wings, and I deleted Regina, and I'm really sorry.
Look, you can't even keep your characters alive. They just leave their drawings back.
Just this
can
mental
I
image
just
of Regina just sort of going, poof, and there's just this pair of wings just going
Sorry.
like this.
I did it stupid. I'm
And then
sorry.
In my mind, it was accompanied by a.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hang on a second. Here you go. There, Regina, you're back in control.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, the guy seems to be like the talkative type, so I'll throw a javelin at him.
Oh, okay. It says, "You will not," and then all of a sudden, I can see that battle is going to be joined.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
I want to hit the hand that holds the talisman.
Oh, okay. Let's fire up our combat music here, and let's take a look at how that works. Let's go with. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So that is going to be that. So. Okay, so we're not going to have any situation really here of surprise because everyone knows basically where everybody is. So we're not going to have a surprise situation. So instead, we already know about where everyone is roughly speaking positioned, which means that you can now decide who's going to act first and in what order. So who wants to go first, second, third, and fourth to do what? Remember, you can all work with each other's that. Regina, you're throwing the javelin, which means you want to do that?
I don't think there's anything else to do first. So why not chuck a javelin at that guy, and
Okay.
then somebody else can do something? How about we? Is there anything useful that Ashflower can do then?
He still needs to get up the wall, I think.
Yeah.
I thought he got up, but he was really loud at it.
No, he got up and sort of slid down. He needs to take another try at it.
Okay, then he can chuck my javelin and he does another try, I would say.
Okay. That seems reasonable. So the order is going to be you, Regina, then Ashflower, then what? Do we have Reginald and then Muriel, or?
Yeah, so the enemies, are they wearing armor? Skeletons, rogue people,
Yes.
guards?
All four, except for the one in the red robe, is wearing armor.
Okay. And I know what I'm going to do.
I mean, I think we can call him safely Galdor, since that is... he was
Galdor,
talking
yeah.
about, my love, and I stole the talisman, so I think we can put two and two together there.
It was me!
Would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids. All right.
Third or fourth doesn't make any difference to me, so I'll leave it up to Muriel.
You can go third, and I'll be
Okay.
fourth. I'm still kind of ruminating. I know
Okay.
I'm going to cast a spell, but I don't know against whom. So I'm
Okay.
trying to figure that out.
Okay. So, in that case, we are going to start here by taking a ranged attack, I believe this is, with your javelin, Regina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is completely correct.
And against... Now, you said against him, but you want to aim specifically at his hand?
If I hit the talisman, I would also be fine, but I'm aiming at the thing, like at the hand where he holds the talisman, because I'm pretty sure if he drops that, he will be distracted. So let's do that. Also, this is why we're here.
I agree. I'm
Talisman.
going to give you, though, a -2 on this attack to hit, because you're basically targeting, right? So it's
Yep,
a called
I'm
shot,
targeting.
basically,
Yes.
is what this is.
Okay.
And let's see. I think I may use a Dark Fate here to increase his threat. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I have used a Dark Fate. I have increased his threat. You may proceed then to make your ranged attack.
Coming in. 13.
All right. So that is not enough for a
Oh, wow.
success, sadly. So instead, it is a failure. Now, an opponent with a ranged attack fires at one of your allies. Let me see if I want to do... Does he have that ranged attack? He might. Yeah. Yeah, he might. Let's see. So... Okay. As in reaction to your failed attack on him, he is going to attack back. And he's going to fire something at you. He is going to use... Okay. All right. He points at you, and you got... How many javelins do you have? You have 2, right?
I've got 2. Yes.
So, he points at the other javelin, which is on your back, obviously, because you just threw the one. And he says, "It's time that you were brought down to earth." And he makes some statement. And suddenly you feel your back growing very, very hot. So, let's see. You are going to need to make a defense test here. So, it's going to be, let's see, in this case, yeah, so you're going to be using your craft score
Yep.
is going to be your plus 10.
Yes.
Wait a second, actually, that's not right. Yeah, hold on a second. It's not quite
I can
right.
roll that. Plus 10 sounds good to me, I
Yeah,
think.
I'm sure you'd be fine with that. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. So yes, that'd be the test difficulty. Okay. So that would be that's the skill or attribute used. Yes, okay. So yeah. So what's his craft? Okay. Right. So you're trying to beat a 14 is what you're trying to beat.
With what?
And you are going to be making a craft. The craft is going to be the attribute that you're using for the test. So you're going to make your normal 3d6 roll, and then you're going to add your aspect of craft to it.
Yes, I craft. Okay, no
And you
problem.
do have light fate, I think, still sitting around. So
It's not rolling. Or did it just roll? No.
it did, but I don't know which one
It
you
rolled.
just did. Was it that second one?
The bottom. The 13 was my attack, so the 14 is.
14 was
so I
what
beat
you
the
rolled.
13.
Okay.
Yes, I beat the 14. It
Yep.
was 13.
So you got
There
the
we go.
14. Okay. So wait, that was close. You
In a
felt-
minimalistic way, but I beat it.
Yes. So you felt your sort of back growing hot, and then you kind of, sort of shake it off, use your wings, and it does not succeed. And he seems upset.
Nice
It didn't
smoldering.
work. Yeah, I'd say that's fair to say. Slightly
Okay.
smoldering. And he says, that won't save you. Okay. So that was
So
you.
let's get Ashflower up.
And Ashflower's up next.
Okay.
So first thing to do, actually, I'm going to make this as part of the attack. Because I'm assuming you're not, trying to hit from distance now. Or are you? Are you trying to still do that again? Make the same, attack you did before? With
Yeah.
the blowgun? Okay. All right, so I'm going to need to have you make that check to get up the wall again.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, this time you're able to make it up. This is a standard success. So what that means is... Actually, wait a minute. No, because you got doubles. I take that back. No, it's just it's a great success, which means you go up and you do not have the negative consequence. So you're now standing or, hanging on the outside of the window, and now you have your blowgun that you can use against one of these individuals.
I'll stick with the original plan and go after him. Let me just get Ashflower's modifiers up here. It's weird dual-wielding characters, I gotta say.
Yes,
Right.
it is strange.
Okay, so let's cue that up, and away we go. Mid.
That is a 12, and that is not going to do it. So that is a fail, and that means that he is able to aim back, and I think he will do that. So he turns and books it. And we're going to see whether he can make his check. Yeah, he climbs up very easily. Doesn't understand what the problem is. This is no problem to get to the other side. And so now he's on the other side, and he's going to take a swing at you with his scimitar. And so what I need you to do here, because this is happening as the same one, okay, is... Okay, so, range attack, well, actually failure. Opponent within melee range. No, so I take that back. He's not going to attack you for this. Thank you for the follow. He's just going to come up so that now he's right on top of you, which means he's now engaged with you in a melee sense. So he's not going to actually attack yet. Okay, those are the two of you have now gone. That leads us to Reginald on the other side, and of course Muriel. I think Reginald was going first. Reginald, what would you like to do? You have these two skeletons facing away from you.
So okay, I'm going to point my scythe at the person who went after Ashflower and just yell, "The sands of time, claim all!" and cast Shatter on his sword.
Okay. What's the range on that?
Line of sight.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, then that works then.
Okay. So I need to
Shatter
roll.
on his sword.
Yeah, let me just refresh. I had it open a second ago and it's immediately gone out my mind because I had to do Ashflower stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Basic spells. Here we
But
go.
I think Mike will be pretty pleased with how we did all of the poison thing and all of that.
Oh yeah, seems right.
Yeah, spellcasting test versus their threat.
Okay, let me see. Am I going to use... I think I am going to use another Dark Fate. Okay.
Okay.
To increase their threat. All right.
Okie dokie. 17.
Yep, that's still enough. Now, it is a success. It is not a great success. So, what I will say is that is going to shatter, but I'm going to say that in the shattering of it, there is going to be both Regina and Ashflower are going to be subject, as are the bandits, are going to be affected by the shards of this weapon. So I'm going to ask Ashflower and Regina to make agility tests for me, please.
Okay, Ashflower. Switch back to the other character
Yeah,
sheet.
sorry. I know the
It's
drill.
all right. Agility. So yeah, it's going to be that plus that. Oh, dear Lord, these rolls.
Okay. And yeah, same situation. The two of you, Regina and Ashflower, and actually the bad guy, are all going to take 2 points of damage as you are pierced by the shards of this broken weapon.
So how does armor work in this?
Oh yes,
this
that's a
level?
good point. So that's right. That's not assuming armor. So yeah, actually that's a good point. It doesn't even affect him because of his armor. So it would do 2 damage less the armor that they possess. So actually, I think probably what is your armor amount that you have?
Me? 11.
Yes. Okay. So then yeah, it probably actually is not going to pierce you because it does not ignore armor. What about Ashflower?
Ashflower's got 3. He's got leather armor.
Let's see. Yeah, that's not going to be enough to get through his armor. So you folks are actually fine. Even
It
the
does a
bandit
little
is.
plink sound
Yeah, even
when
the
it hits
bandit
me.
is fine. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that takes care of that. But you have shattered the weapon, and I assume you're going to stay more or less where you are. Reginald, you're going to be making next turn. You'll be able to change positions and all that stuff.
Yep.
So that's going to lead us to Muriel. You are muted.
You can't
Oh, no,
tell
you're
me
not.
this.
Go ahead.
No,
You're-
yeah, I was muted.
Okay.
I was muted because I was going.
Okay, yeah.
I know you can't tell me this, but like, I really want to get Red Robe Guy to take a nap. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to just try it and accept that his threat level is probably 87 and that I will never make this roll.
Threat level is 87, approximately. So you can certainly do that if you wish. Actually, how much have you used so far of your?
I have 2 more
Okay.
spells.
Okay.
I think. Wait, let me check. Because I just cast sleep once and I had 4 out of 5. So now I have 3 out of 5. Okay. So I can do 3 more. I lied.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. I will try to make Red Robe Guy sleep.
Okay.
Got an 18. Nothing special on it though.
All right. Let's see. So.
His threat level is like, it's definitely 86.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking about whether. On a success, target falls prone. Remembrance equal to your craft. Okay. No, I would say that he's like, you cannot defeat the. And he does actually fall over and fall asleep. That's the good news. But since this was a standard success,
Yeah.
what it means is, first of all, I'll put the little sleeping icon on him. These two turn, and you have to be inside. You should move Muriel to where you want her to be, because you can't really, like at the door is fine.
Yeah, like right at the door.
Yep, that's fine. They see you, both of them, as does this one. So 3 of them now see you directly, Muriel, but you have effectively put him to sleep.
Well, at least he's asleep, so he can stop monologuing.
Absolutely. So what that means is that enemies who have not acted. So we have this guy acted and this guy acted. So 3 people have not yet acted. So let's see. These 2 are probably going to move up. And let's take a look and see what we've got for their move. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. These ones charge at you, their bones clattering. And right at you, Muriel. And they're going to attempt then to attack. So now you're going to be making a defense test. We're going to be using Muriel, and we're going to be using the enemy's threat level as the difficulty. So, and I am going to, let's see, am I going to use any more? I already used 2 Dark Fate. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to have them attack. So, you're going to be making 2 defense tests, and this is going to be this is a melee defense, basically agility or brawn is what you're looking at here.
Well, for me, they're the same number, so it doesn't matter.
Alrighty.
Okay. Wow, those ones.
Oh!
Fun.
Well...
I think I am hurt. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, well, that means that they definitely did damage. Make do a second test for me too, because you did only 1 so far, right? Or is that 2?
No, I did 2.
Oh,
I
both.
got it.
Oh, yeesh. Yeah, yeah, they're both going to hit you. That is definitely both going to hit you. And let's see, we're talking. Okay, so what is your armor amount?
That is a good question. Let's see. Where does it... Oh my gosh, did I never calculate my armor?
Never assumed you get hit. Do you have any? Is the real question.
That I
Because if so, I can tell you how many points you have, but I need to know what kind of armor.
I don't in equipment. It doesn't look like it.
Could be that you're...
Wait, okay, there it is. Type leather. I'm wearing leather armor.
You're wearing leather armor, okay. So, you've had 10 damage inflicted on you, from which the leather armor is going to reduce by 3. And there's 2 things I want to note, which is, first of all, your armor just got damage, which means you're going to mark an X on the little armor points track, because you've actually taken that damage. And you've got 7 points of damage now that is left over that's going to go to your body. It's going to come from your life.
Okay.
So you're now sitting at 5 out of 12 life as these 2 skeletons strike you.
Yes, I am.
Meanwhile, this one, who has also not acted, is this one going to run and try to, like, you're flying up in the air, Regina, right? Still above, like, the window?
I'm still at windowsill height, so if
Right.
that's still 2.5 meters, that's where I am.
Right, I'm trying to decide if they're gonna...
He could like run, jump up, and try to poke me.
Yeah, I thought about that. I think he's going to be more worried about the one who cast the spell, and also probably the ghoul. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think he's going to try to engage the ghoul. Oh wait, actually, hold on. He would have seen... No, you know what he's going to do? That's not what he's going to do. He's going to go over and bend down, and he goes, "Oi! Oi, sir! Sir!" And he starts, like, shaking the sleeping Galdor. That's much more logical as to what he's going to do. And I believe that if a creature can awaken the target by shaking it vigorously as a full action, that means that Galdor is now awake. It used up his action, but he would prefer his boss not to be asleep. So let's get rid of that sleep thing. That's a pretty good round for the enemies. They're feeling pretty good about themselves there, sort of. And that's going to bring us back up to the top of our overall round. So, party, we can now reset a little bit and decide what order we want to go to. Muriel and Reginald right now are dealing with these two skeletons. This bandit just shook Galdor awake. And you have a bandit engaged with Ashflower. Regina, you are as yet unengaged. So you can go whatever direction you want. So you all can decide what order you want everybody to go in.
So, that Galdor guy, when he fell asleep, did he fall to the floor?
He did fall to the floor, yes.
Did he drop the talisman?
He did not. He had a death grip on it, actually.
Gosh darn it. And I guess what burned up on my back is my second javelin.
No, your javelin is still in serviceable shape. It did not catch fire. It almost did. But it is still serviceable. You could still use it.
Let's see.
And since Chad may or may not be curious, we do have inspirations that are possible for people. If you have those inspirations over from my chat, you could use them here to inspire if any of the players wish it.
Okay, that guy got up. I will very honest to my party, my next move will be to chuck another javelin at him.
Okay.
That's like the whole amount of creativity there is going to be.
You will pay for that. Cut down. Okay.
You will still pay for it.
All right. Ranged attack then is what we're looking at here.
Yep, it's what I have to offer. What can Ashflower do?
So you're going to be throwing a javelin. You have to decide what Ashflower is doing, and then obviously, Reginald and Muriel can figure that out too.
So Ashflower does have a shotgun, and he's being engaged. A short sword. I mean, not shotgun, short sword. So I would think he would be using that.
He can do that if he drops the blowgun.
Let's have a look what blade sharp is.
If he touches a weapon, it gains +2 damage for an hour.
Well done. Oh, it's a full action, I just see. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we have time for that. So I think he just needs to start poking. Everybody agree?
Sounds good. That was probably going to be my plan as well, so.
Okay.
Okay, let's have, so Ashflower short sword on the person who's engaging with him.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. And then we've got Muriel and Reginald. What are you thinking about?
Muriel's probably thinking, I don't want to get hit anymore.
I gotta switch my fan. Hold on. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay. Too many things to... can't put everything on at once.
Why does this...
Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I was just saying...
Definitely wanting to not get hit anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can, and I should say, by the way, Muriel, there is a disengage here. It's a disengage test, so it's a little bit different than the way D&D works. If you succeed, you can disengage and move up to half your speed, but you can't take another full action that turn, and your opponent strikes you for half damage. If you get great success, you disengage without taking any harm, and you can then take an action and or move. So, and then obviously failure means you don't disengage and you take full damage. So
I've been rolling just a load of ones right now, so I'm not going to bet that.
Lone Wolf has also offered to inspire either you or Regina. Or actually, I think it was offering Regina or Ashflower, but I assume would inspire any of you if
Probably
needed.
Anybody, yeah.
Also, hi, Shamgar.
Hi, Shamgar.
Well, I could just be a broken record and just try to sleep these two skeletons so they stop hitting me. Do skeletons sleep? Is that a thing? It doesn't have any, like, the spell doesn't say it doesn't work on certain creatures. So, like, I'm guessing a skeleton can sleep.
Skeleton could sleep. Yep.
Okay. So then that's probably what I would do, is try to sleep at least one of the skeletons.
Yeah, and actually, let me take a look at sleep. That is a good question. I wonder if they're... Because they may not... Let me see if they're impacted by that.
It just says that on an enemy you can see, on a success, the target falls prone and enters a deep slumber for a number of minutes equal to your craft.
All right, let's see if they have a particular resistance to that. All right, let's see. They would... No, skeletons are resistant to blades, but they don't have anything particular against that, so I guess they could be slept. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then that's what I would do. I would sleep a skeleton. I have 2 on me, so if I can sleep one of them, then I might survive this encounter.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. All right. And then that leads us, Reginald. What are you going to do this turn?
I will shatter the sword of whichever one doesn't go to isn't being slapped.
Okay, that seems reasonable. Alrighty. So that means what do we do as far as order? Are we going Regina and then Ashflower and then Muriel and Reginald? Basically, how we just did it now. Is that order?
Yeah, same turn order seems
Okay.
good to me.
All right, let's start with Regina then. And I should have asked about position. Regina, do you see where everybody is? Muriel and Reginald are kind of stuck where they are. So is Ashflower, unless he drops from the window. Regina, you are the person who could move if you want somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm pretty single-minded in what I'm doing, so... but I'm also pretty safe where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll chuck the javelin at the red robe guy because he was our main target. So I'll target him. Yes.
Okay. And you're just attacking him straight up now, right? Not making a called shot.
No, I'm not making a call to. That didn't work.
Okay.
So I'll just chuck my javelin at him directly
Let's make it happen.
with my attack bonus being that. Okay, I hope I got it right. Yeah, that should be. I think that should be right. I seriously need to look up the attack stuff again. Wait,
Hey, Harry.
this is what I rolled last time. This can't be. Wait. Because last time because got it. I figured it out.
Okay.
15.
Let's see.
I'm rolling abysmally.
Let's see. 15. Okay, so that is going to hit. It is going to be a standard success. So, let's see.
Spend a light fate to turn it to a great success. Sorry.
That's true. You could do that.
I spent a light fate to turn it into a great success.
Okay. So
Spontaneously
complete
out of
success.
my own free will.
That's fine.
I'm
You
the great success fairy.
You inflict full damage on your target and your opponent does not get an action. Okay. So you're going to inflict full damage, which means that now we're going to have to see how the armor is going to work. There's not a whole lot, so go ahead and do your damage. This guy's wearing a thin robe.
14.
Wow. That's the damage?
Oh wait, no, I did the wrong thing. I'm
was
sorry,
like,
I did
what
the wrong
the
thing.
frick? Jesus. Regina's
anyway,
like, ah! She's just like,
5.
I was like, woo! It's like, good gravy.
All
All right,
darn it.
so he's going to
It's
deflect one of
1d6
those.
plus 4.
Okay,
because
that's-
it's the javelin.
That's fine. So he's
It would
going
have
to
been.
take...
It would have been more with the spear.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm sure. Oh man, it was really scary for a minute. I'm like, are you kidding? All right, so he will deflect one of those with his robe, but he'll take the rest of it. So he will take 4 points of damage. Okay. Ah! And he kind of clutches his shoulder. How dare you! He seems very angry. Okay, next up is Ashflower, who is engaged with this guy who's hanging on the opposite... each one hanging on the wall, like poking at each other, except one of them now, he doesn't have a sword anymore because it was shattered, so he's just trying to punch you while Ashflower is trying to poke him with his weapon. So go ahead and make a melee attack for me, please. Saber with Ashflower. Well, whoever is going to. With Ashflower.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pyron's setting it up or not.
I'm sorry?
That's all right, I'll do it. If you weren't sure if you
I've
were
got it.
doing Ashflower.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've got it ready to go. No, it's all right. I've got it ready to go. I just wasn't sure if you were. Okay,
No,
so.
I'm looking up my damage thing because I want to be sure that this is correct.
Oy, 15.
Okay, let's see. A 15 will hit, yes.
Okay, and I'll spend the light fate to turn it to a great success.
Uh-huh. All right. So, with a great success, that means that you are going to take full damage on the target, and the opponent does not get an action. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Roll if it's full damage. Oh, does it mean it's just not reduced by anything?
That's right.
Yeah. Full, not the same as max.
Right.
Okay. That's fine. Let me cue that up. And that's 8 points of damage.
Yeah, because even on a standard success, you strike your target for full damage. So
Right.
that's what that means then. So 8, you said? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they reduce a little bit because of the armor, because of the leather armor that they're wearing. And okay. All right. So, and he does not get to attack you back because of the great success. Good use of light fate there. And that is going to bring us on to, that was Ashflower, so that's going to bring us now to Muriel and Reginald. Muriel, I think you were up next.
Yes.
Okay. So, you are going to try to sleep one of these ones. Which one? That one?
This one. Yeah. So 14. Wow, I got triples. I got 3 2.
Wow. Okay, let's see if that actually hits them.
If it doesn't, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
No, it does. It does. Also, the other thing I will say is that because that happened, what's the normal spell point cost on that?
It's just 1.
It's just 1?
Hmm.
Do I want to do that? No, I'm going to take that back. That was an extraordinary success. Both of them fall asleep. So both of them lie down and just, they don't snore, they're skeletons, but you know, they have,
They whistle.
yeah,
Chatter their teeth.
they dream of going to the mall and going to Cold Bone Creamery, and all that. So they fall asleep. All right, that's about as successful as you get.
Yes.
Reginald, you are up.
Seeing that they've gone asleep, Reginald's going to disentangle, and he'd like to move. So he's got a speed of 16, so where could he
Okay.
move to?
He's got each of these squares I mean, that should give you enough
Okay.
room to move within it, I think.
Wherever he wants.
Yep. Now, I will say that let me just double check, because I think that's, yeah, the area where the statues are, it takes longer to actually get into, and out of those statues. So if you go directly, like, basically any of the squares where you see debris, because he went like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they were charging for here. Yeah. So basically, anywhere where you see debris, it would take an extra square to get through. It shouldn't matter to you because you can just go up and then over and then end up on this side.
Yeah. Well,
But there's
I'm
that
gonna
hole
move
there,
over to about there.
Yep.
Trying
do
to
that.
stay further away from those two than Regina is.
Yep.
And then I'm going to keep up with the winning plan, and I want to shatter that guy's sword.
All
I
right.
just point and go, all things must end.
All right. So go ahead.
Love your
and
flair for the dramatic.
Soon
You got to
you'll be
amuse
one of
yourself.
us.
Yeah. When you're like 120, you got to amuse yourself to pass the quiet evenings. You're just there with like the skulls going, alas.
Okay. So
Okay,
go ahead and
yeah.
roll.
Hang on, that's the
see
wrong
if it
character.
succeeds.
Yeah, so that's a +7 again. Oof. And
And you were doing this on the weapon of the bandit, right?
Yeah, the bandit's sword.
Right.
And I'm not going to use a point on that. I'll keep my light fate for now.
Okay. So that's going to be a standard success.
Mhm.
So What I'm going to say is that this will succeed, but you're going to have to spend an extra spell point
Okay.
to cast it.
Shatter OP nerfed.
No, it's more when the standard success actually happens.
Yeah.
So I was like, I
That
could
is
have it shatter a
fine.
weapon again, but do damage, but you can do one of different things. So yes, you can also, by the way, elect not to take a spell point and be strained by spellcasting, but being strained means you suffer a -2 penalty to future spellcasting checks. So I'm guessing you'd rather not do that, and you'd rather take the
No.
extra spell point, is my guess.
I mean, I do have a trick up my sleeve when I run out of spell points with my enduring spell as well.
Ah, yes, okay. Either way, though, success with the, just shatters. Ah! And he looks down in horror as his scimitar is no more. And Galdor yells at him, "Get him, you fool!" All right, so everyone is now gone. And let's see, this guy can't take an action. He was already engaged there. This guy, you threw the javelin at him. Blah, 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 blah. This guy had his weapon
I
shattered.
also hit him.
Right. That's true. So actually, let's see. So if they have not taken or used all their actions in the round, well, they don't get actions though. Yeah, they're not directly engaged, so he could actually take an action here. So this guy is going to, let's see. Does he have enough? 1, 2, 7, 8. Yeah, he does. Okay. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and starts shaking this skeleton. Wake up! Wake up! And wakes one of the skeletons. Not the other one. Let's see. This one has not used his action, so who is he going to aim for? I think he is going to come this way. He comes at you, Reginald, and as he runs, he has the talisman in his hand, and he puts both the talisman and scroll into his cloak as he runs, and Sting draws forth 2 glowing red serrated daggers and runs at you and is going to attempt to engage you. So I'm going to ask you to make a defense test against that. That is, let's see, melee, agility, or brawn is what you're looking at here.
Brawn, then.
Okay, and I'm going to have him use a Dark Fate, actually. I'm going to use one of my 2 remaining Dark Fate to increase his threat, because he's upset. Okay.
I get a light fate. How'd you like that?
Wow, nice. You have got a light fate. Also, that is just enough. Wow. So you do manage to defend against it, which means you get a standard success, which means you're only going to suffer half of the damage or effect. So
I'm going to spend a light fate to turn my standard success into a great success.
yeah, I take no damage, completely resisting the spell or effect. Nice work. All right, you do so successfully. He curses. "Curse my dark fate," he says. Okay, and this guy is already engaged with Ashflower and has already acted, so that means we're back up to the top. All right, folks, now we can decide what you want to do. You've got 1 sleeping skeleton, 1 awake skeleton on Muriel. You've got 1 bandit that just shook awake the 1 sleeping skeleton. You've got Galdor engaged in hand-to-hand combat with Reginald. You've got Ashflower battling this bandit across this windowsill. And you've got Regina floating nearby, ready to attack. or to do whatever she wants, actually. What do you all want to do? What order do you want to
Well,
go?
Regina will do whatever she wants.
True, which means, specifically, what will that be?
Reginald could just yell. It's just like, well, as loud as he can. It's like, protect Muriel.
Yeah, 3 against 1 seems unfair. I draw my real spear and
Okay.
shout, charge! And just go for it.
Okay, what's your speed?
Yes.
My speed is yes.
14.
Okay, that's plenty enough, especially because you're flying. So you can end up engaged at whatever, once you get there, you'll be able to get engaged with whatever of these skeletons, or the bandit that you want, actually. So, or Galdor, for that matter. You could make a decision as to what you want to do.
One skeleton is sleeping. I'm not going to take that one.
Okay, so you're going on to the live skeleton.
So, but both the skeleton and the bandit, they're both disarmed, right?
Yes, well, no. This bandit
No?
has no weapon. This bandit has no weapon, but these two skeletons both have their weapons. They were just asleep.
Okay, then I'm going to take on the skeleton with the weapon because that looks like the most dangerous and I'm never afraid of a foe.
Okay, so that would be, actually, this one down here is the one who's awake. Okay, so you're going to be doing that. Well, hold on a second. Let's make sure we get the order of operations. So, is Ashflower going next and still continuing to battle the bandit?
Makes sense.
Okay, and then Muriel and Reginald. Reginald, do you want to deal with Galdor first and then Muriel, or does Muriel want to try to see what happens with?
I'm going to set fire to that bandit who keeps waking people up.
Okay, seems reasonable. So,
And then I'm going to hit him with lightning.
Perfect.
okay, so are you going? So that means we're looking at Muriel first, then Regina. Did I hear
Or
that?
do you want to? You can hit him with lightning first, and then I'll just set fire to whatever's left of him.
I also have, if I roll lucky, I could stun him for a turn as well.
Yeah. So then I'll wait.
Okay.
and do it.
Okay, so which order? Muriel and Reginald, or Reginald and Muriel?
Reginald first.
All right, so we've got Regina, Ashflower, Reginald, Muriel. Let's go with Regina first. Regina, you come charging in on this skeleton. Go ahead and make a melee attack. I don't think that worked quite right.
That was
First
a
of all,
waste
I
of a
muted-
perfectly good 6.
Yes, that was two perfectly good 6s.
Sadly.
Yeah, I was punished for this already.
Oh no.
Ah.
Oh. Well, that unfortunately is a fail. It's a failure, which means that you are going to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what I saw that +6. That looks right.
Okay, you inflict no damage to your target, but your opponent is going to hit you for full damage. So that means the skeleton is going to attack you back. And let's see. God. Okay, so
I would have rolled 6, 6, 1 + 6. Damn it.
that would have been nice.
Yes, that would
Let's
have been
all
really
appreciate
nice.
how good that would have been together.
Yeah, let's appreciate that for a moment.
Okay.
Just for a moment.
That is 6 points of damage, which it inflicts on you. What is the armor that you have?
11.
Okay. Now you're going to remember to mark off your armor is damaged from that first attack.
Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
gonna,
then it's only. I took 1 off, right?
No, it just means, now that you've been hit. So now that
I've
you've been
been
hit
hit.
in combat, your armor has lost some of its effectiveness.
Okay.
So, that said though, you still resist any of the damage because it didn't do enough. But unfortunately you did not damage it, sadly.
How much armor do I because I got the 2. There was the thing with the 2 damage from the shattered weapon. Did I lose 2 armor to that, or how did that work?
No, you took 1 damage. I know you've been hit in a fight before, and when you were hit, you lost I think you lost durability on the armor at that point. The way it works is that you lose a point of the armor the first time it's damaged in combat. So, It is.
So then I only have 10 right now.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
So, okay. Also, there should be a little mark on your character sheet too that says how much it has left before it's destroyed. In fact, let me take a look here and see, because it says that when you do this damage, then you have the armor. And degrades by 1 each time you engage in combat. When all the armor points boxes are marked with an X, the armor is destroyed and cannot be repaired. So you've probably taken, I'm guessing, 2 points on that armor. I think you've been hit twice. I don't know how many combats you've been hit in, but I would say at least twice, right? I would think.
I mute myself.
Yeah, you did.
And yeah, so I drop it down by 3. Okay, then I wasn't 11 at the start.
Okay. But I mean, do you see that armor points track I'm referring to though?
There's like these little pointy things,
Yeah.
but I thought they refill.
No, they don't
I
refill
refilled
until
them
you
all the
repair them.
time.
They don't refill until you repair them. So you can
So how do I
repair
repair
them.
them?
You repair them by taking an hour to repair. You use an armor repair kit, and you make a tinker test. And then
not gonna do that. No,
Yeah.
no.
Or you get, you go to see a smith also.
There is something about refitting armor when you take a long rest as well, which I think can restore points
No,
but not repair.
I'm not gonna tinker with anything. That's other people's job. No,
So
we've
that
got
means
people
it's-
for that.
So that means that, yes. So that means that you take a slash on that armor points track.
Okay.
So, and I think, what are you wearing? Chainmail, is it?
I'm wearing scale mail.
Oh, scale mail. So you started with 12 points, I think. 12 armor points?
I think 11.
Okay. 11, and then you would have taken 3 so far, right? You
I
just said?
think so.
Yeah. So that means that you're down to...
Sounds reasonable, I
That'd be
guess.
down to 8 on those armor points. Okay,
1, 2, 3. Yep, that's exactly what I have. So everything is wonderfully fine.
awesome. And thank you very much for the raid, Shinona. I do not know why my thing did not fire. It should have. Yeah, it's on. I don't know why it didn't fire, but thank you, Shinona, for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome in, folks, as you watch this climactic battle. Okay, all right, you did that. Now we have Ashflower on the bandit as you continue to fight each other over a windowsill.
Ashflower, not as effective as I was hoping he would be in this combat.
Yes, sadly that is going to be a miss, which means that the bandit will inflict full damage. Now, the good news is that the bandit, of course, does not have a weapon, so that means that he's going to do considerably less than he would have done. Okay, so instead we're looking at 3 points of damage minus whatever the armor is that Ashflower's got.
Leather armor for 3.
Okay, did he get hit before once or no?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so he's going to take a point of damage to his armor value, so that he's now down. So that's going to withstand all of that damage, but his armor is now down to 2 armor points. Okay. All right, and so that is what happens there. That's going to lead us up to, I believe, Muriel. No, Reginald was next. Or Muriel or Reginald? It was Reginald.
So I'm going to, right above the remaining bandit's head, a very, very small storm cloud starts to gather.
Okay.
I point at him and I just say, "Let the dead rest," and hurl lightning at him.
Ooh. Wow, and does so with a great success and a 23. He dodges. No, I'm just kidding. He definitely doesn't dodge. All right. Tell me what the horrific effect of this spell is going to be on the deadly bandit.
No stun, unfortunately, because I did not get a 6 on the Kismet, but he does take a rather unhealthy 1d6 plus 5.
I wonder if that ignores armor or if that...
It doesn't specify that it does, so probably not.
Okay. So he's going to take that. Okay. Right, so that's going to be... Okay, so that's him. And, okay, all right. He does not like that at all. All right, and that was a success. He can't do anything about it because you had a great success and all. So, all right, that's going to take care of that. That leaves us with Muriel. He has just been your target, your foe, your living foe anyway, has been hit by lightning.
I'd like to, set the bandit on fire.
Okay.
Curse of Flame. So, let's see. That would be. So that it'll be his threat because I'm trying to set him on fire.
Right.
Okay, so 15?
15 is enough.
Nice.
You do, in fact, set him on fire. Well, you set his, I don't know.
His robes.
His robe on fire. His robe's on fire. So, he seems very freaked out by that reaction. By that.
I imagine so, yes.
Okay.
And then he takes 1d6 of fire damage.
Okay.
So.
Two. Does this ignore armor?
Let's see. Objects is not harmed, but anyone holding it is burned. Flame immediately causes 1d6 damage to the owner and an additional 1d6 each round. It's not saying anything about armor.
Yeah, so his armor probably, because you obviously were lighting the cloak on fire, not the armor itself. So, okay, but he is on fire, and he has to take an action to put it out?
Yes.
All right. He is probably going to do that. Let me make just a little notation, by which I mean fire. All right. Okay. That hurt him. He does not like that either. And he is burning. All right. Let's see. And that was a success. So what I'm going to say about this is it was a standard success, which means that you will need to spend an extra spell point to cast it, Muriel, unless you want to be strained. And if you are strained, it means that you will take a -2 on spell casting tests until you take a rest. Excuse me.
Normally, I'd be totally fine with just eating the extra spell point, but I only have one left. So
Well, there you go. You're going to have to then.
I'm going to have to be strained.
You're going to have to be strained. There are ways to overcome strain, including sometimes successes and things like that.
I do have a light fate to spend. Can I spend that to not become strained?
Yes. Let me see, actually, because I know you can turn a standard. Can you turn standard to great? I think you can turn standard to great.
I'm pretty sure it's standard to great, but you can't do great to the other one.
So if you change standard to great, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Okay.
In that event.
Then let's do that. Let's spend the light fate and do that.
Okay.
Because I'm out of spell points anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. So you're good. You are not strained, and good stuff. Hey, what's up, Atoman? And goodbye, Ari. All right. Also, hey, Patriot J. Are you a god? Do you ignore armor? You say yes. All right. Good stuff. Okay. So, let's see. Reginald is gone. So the only one so far who has not been engaged in some way, I think, is the big guy, Galdor, who looks at you and says, "How are you?" No, instead, what he's going to do is he's going to cast a spell. Okay. He's going to cast, let's see. All right. So, he says, so, lightning is your choice, is it? And he raises his hand, and a lightning bolt shoots out of his hand at you, Reginald. So, let's see. I'm going to have you make an athletics test, actually, defense test.
Yeah, guess what I don't have. Okay, agility is...
Agility is not one of your greatest items?
No. So, I have 1 point of agility.
Outstanding.
He's a ghoul. How do you imagine an agile ghoul?
He doesn't matrix out of the way. Okay, that looks to me like you have taken the damage. Sounds like. So that means it's going to zap you for. Oh. Okay. Wow. All right. That means that you are going to take 10 points of damage minus your armor.
Which is 3.
Okay, and you have to mark a point off on that armor as well, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how many light fate do you have left, Reginald?
I have 1.
Okay, just want to check. So, okay, so 3. So that means you're going to take 7 points of lightning damage. Electrical damage, I suppose. And that, I think, is the only thing we need to know about that. Yes, okay. All right, and he seems rather pleased with himself, and that's going to bring us back up to the top, where we've still got the same battle scenario that you all see. What do you all want to do now that Regina and Muriel are dealing with these 3, and we've got this guy here dealing with Reginald, Galdor dealing with Reginald, and the windowsill battle at the back of the chapter?
Well, the thing with Reginald happened behind my back, so I'm not sure if I realized what was
Probably.
happening. I heard a zap, but that could also have been Reginald.
That's true.
So, if nobody gives any other hints to Regina, she will attack the skeleton again.
Okay. So she's going to attack the skeleton. Is Ashflower going to go second and still keep dealing with, like, windowsill guy?
He needs to get in here,
Just
so
come
yeah.
on! Okay, and then we've got Muriel and we've got Reginald. What do the two of you want to do in what order?
Reginald's got the lightning bolt scroll he can use.
Okay. This is just a lightning bolt battle. Zap. No, I said zap. No, I said zap.
Unlimited power!
Unlimited double power. Yeah.
If we grab a bit like the lightning bolt's meat, and it's like...
Yeah, it's one of the classic, like, push and push. Yep.
Just trying to figure out who I want to use it on. I'll use it on the on fire guy. I need to try and free up some people.
Okay. All right. And Muriel, what do you want to do?
Me and my lacking of spells. I have a mace, so I guess I'll just bonk people on the head at this point.
Okay. You could also try to run away, but, as assuming you're...
I mean, if I try to run away at this point, then they'll get an attack on me and I have 5 HP. So I'm like, I don't think I can do that.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
So, Mace, and are you going to go after this one that's not asleep? This
Yeah,
one
the
here?
one
Okay.
that's not asleep, yeah.
All right. So let's start with...
I'll be that last.
Okay. Let's start with Regina then, who comes up first and is dealing with the one that's not asleep, right, Regina?
Yes, I'm not attacking the sleeping skeleton.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that one.
I know this because when the beetles were sleeping, everybody was like, if you attack the sleeping beetle, there will be trouble.
So you've learned. Regina has
So I'm
learned
not
new
doing
tactical information.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll do it right this time.
Okay.
16!
16 is going to hit. It is a standard
There we go.
success, which means that you are going to do damage to it, but it will get a chance to get back some damage on you. Let me just double
That
check
is
to
fine,
make
because
sure.
then it has used its action and cannot attack Muriel.
That's quite right. So when you're doing this on melee, standard success, your opponent will hit you for half damage, and you will hit your target for full damage. You could also, do you have any light fate? I think you've used up your light fate, right?
I have used up my life.
Okay. Yep. All right. So go ahead and roll your damage then.
8. Because I've already, like Saber and like before, I've rolled a 1 for damage.
Wow. Okay. Let's see.
This is incredible.
All right. I am going to spend a Dark Fate to use an ability known as Undead Fortitude, which means if a character's single attack does not inflict enough physical damage to completely destroy a skeleton's body by reducing its life to 0, the skeleton can ignore all damage dealt by that attack. So basically the skeleton's like, no, is more or less.
So I'm poking like through its ribs
Exactly.
and see the spear.
It's just like
on the other
so. It
side.
looks down and then like pulls out the spear. You'll be happy to know I'm out of Dark Fate though, for what that's worth. But that's
Yeah,
that's the
I'm
deal.
happy to know that.
Somewhere you're like, but I bet you won't do that again. Okay, now he's going to hit you for half damage. So let's see. We're looking at that is so that's 4
Yeah.
damage.
So
So which means that's not going to strike. It's not going to get through you, is it?
no, I
your
still have
armor.
8 armor.
All right. So that is not going to work on you, but that's what he's planning to do. But you're right. He won't be able to attack anybody else because he's active now. Okay, that leads us up to the epic windowsill battle that just will not end. All right, Ashflower.
Do we want to get Ashflower in and have him attack the red robe guy?
That also, he has healing spells.
Yeah, so maybe we should get him in. Can we get him in?
Next round, because you did say you were having him attack this time. So
Did we?
next, yes. Next turn,
Okay.
you can definitely change that up.
Well, I figured trying to get past him while he's
Yeah.
still there would be problematic anyway.
Oh,
He just feels
Okay.
like, Ashflower feels like he hasn't been all there today.
Oh,
just not quite.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough actually. That will hit. It's
Okay.
and it's actually a more than a standard success because you got doubles. So it's actually a great
great
success, which means he just does damage. So
Good,
he will.
good.
So go ahead and roll damage and let's see what he gets.
Yeah, I need to find his damage modifiers. There we are, 1d6 plus 5. I swear if this is a 1. At last!
Hey, there we go.
yes.
All right, he is going to take
Curse!
8 damage, and you'll be happy to know. Remember that he was hit already by the shattered sword. So that actually, he just hits him in the neck, and he falls over and expires. So he is dead. Zed's dead, man. Zed's dead.
Does Ash still get a move?
Um,
I may be confusing this with 5th edition D&D right now.
yeah, I would say not.
Okay.
Position, because normally that's handled by position, so he'll be able to move next turn, and now
Okay.
at least his way is clear. So we have someone
Yeah.
dead.
I have a quick question now.
Sure.
Whenever am I the only one that whenever we say great success, you go in your head like, I make a note here, great success. Is it only me?
I make a note here. Great success.
I
Thank you.
totally hear that too. Yes.
Thank you. I'm not the only one, so that's good then.
This was a triumph.
Yes, this was a triumph.
Oh man. Okay. So good stuff from Ashflower. All right, that brings us up to Reginald and then Muriel. Reginald, do you want to zappy first?
Yeah, I was going to zappy on fire guy again, but I'm
Okay.
going to use the lightning bolt scroll rather than one of my spells for this one.
8-Bit says, now I hear it too.
So I don't know what the specifics of the scroll were. I didn't actually. It just says lightning bolt scroll, 1 use.
So it's just like casting a lightning bolt.
Okay.
Yep.
But it doesn't cost me a spell point.
Nope, does not.
Alrighty. Hey.
Okay. Let's see. Now, is that enough? That's not enough. Sadly, he has a higher threat than that.
Okay.
So that is not going to work. On a fail, and I think you're out. Actually, Light Fate, I don't think. Yeah, you don't have to worry about spending spell points or losing memory of the spell, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, so that just does not work. Basically, is what that means. Okay, and on a failure, he is able to act. So what he's going to do is, first of all, he's going to take damage because he's going to act now. So he's going to take fire damage. So go ahead and roll another 1d6. Muriel, please.
I know exactly what he's going to bloody do.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled not crappy.
5 more damage. No, not bad at all. All right, he's looking much the worse for wear. He is going to stop, drop, and roll. And he is going to put out his fire. if that is we can actually get the... There we go. He's going to put out his fire. Okay. So he has put out his fire. He is going to, I think, stay where he is, but he's happy to have put out his fire anyway. All right. That is going to lead us, last but certainly not least, to Muriel.
Who's muted? All right. I'm gonna attempt to hit the non-sleeping skeleton directly in front of me with the mace. Attempt is the word.
Operative word, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I got a light feat.
You did get a light fate. All right, so we're looking at and that's it. There's no. It's just 3d6. You don't have any melee.
I have nothing.
Okay. That's not going to be enough to hit the non-sleeping skeleton in front of you, sadly.
No, I wish I could use the light fate I just got and be like, oh no, I did hit him.
I know, right? Well, maybe you'll use it on whatever's about to happen next, because as a fail, it means your opponent is going to hit you for full damage, or is going to try to. So he is looking at let's see, that's 6 points of damage minus your armor.
Right, the armor is leather.
Right, so that's 3, right? So it means you take 3 points of damage, which means you're down to 2, I believe, right? 2 out of 12.
I was at 5.
Yep.
So
okay. 2 out of 12. All right. And you already marked one off of your armor thing for taking damage, right? Already. Okay. All right. So you do that, and that means he's acted, and I believe that's everybody. So let's see. The sleeping skeleton is still sleeping. The one skeleton has acted. The bandit has acted. That means the only one who hasn't acted yet is Galdor, who is going to cast another spell, I think. And what is he going to cast is the question. Let's see. He lightning bolted. He tried to curse a flame. He will... Or is he going to attack you? Yeah, he's just going to attack you with his daggers. So, he is going to attack with his daggers, which means that you are going to need to make a melee defense test using brawn, I think is what you did last time.
Okay. 9.
9, unfortunately, means you are going to take full damage from this attack. So... And let's see. Yeah, okay. So, he's going to do... Okay. He's going to do another 5 points of damage to you minus your armor.
So that's less 2 now.
Okay, so that means that we're looking at 3 points that get through?
Yep.
Okay.
Your armor only loses 1 per fight, so you're not going to lose another one.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, I just read differently. Not that I want to make things harder for me, but... Where was it? Okay, well, we'll go with that for now, but I'm sure it drops over the course of a fight as well, because there's a refit action which undoes it afterwards.
I'm going to have to double check that myself, but you can refit it during a short rest is what we were talking about if your armor is damaged during combat. But the total effectiveness of a suit of armor degrades by 1 point each time you engage in combat. Mark each point of damage your armor takes to the slash. The first time your armor reduces damage in encounter, you mark an X. So I would read that as, the first time you take damage. Okay. It reduces, and then it stays at that reduced number until you repair it in some way.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so with that said, you took that 2 damage, so you are now sitting at 5 out of 15, and that's going to bring us back up to the top. Finally, Ashflower could get through that window if he wants, and we've got Galdor on Reginald, and we've got Regina on the skeletons plus bandit, and Muriel on the skeletons plus bandit. What order do all of you want to go in?
I would like Ashflower to charge in immediately and attack this guy from behind. Not that he has any mechanical bonus for doing that.
Okay.
Unless he had a light fate, which he doesn't.
So he's going to go first. All right. Second is going to be whom?
Guess me?
Okay. And are you going after the skeleton again?
I'm not sure. It seems to be immune to my damage. So... But on the other hand, like... Try again in this case, I would guess, because I still haven't helped Muriel. So I'm going to try to spear the skeleton again.
Okay. All right. So that'll be Regina will be up next. And then up after that would be... then you've got Muriel and Reginald, and you can decide what order you two want to go in.
I'm gonna go last because all I can do is attempt to hit things with the mace.
I have a healing vial I'm going to drink on my turn.
Okay. There you go. Well, let's start with Ashflower's attack on Galdor.
Okay. Oh my god!
These rolls! Fortunately for you, I don't have any Dark Fate to increase his threat, and so that does hit, actually.
Okay.
And because you got doubles, actually, it's a great success, so you just do full damage.
It's the worst great success ever.
Yeah, it's the least great I've ever seen. Okay, so you're going to do full damage. Wow. So I guess what we've learned here is Mike can't have anyone roll his dice. He just has to like from his mobile
Mike
phone.
Didn't do his character sheet nicely. This is all because of that.
You know what happened? It is the traditional thing that happened. We touched his dice.
That's exactly what happened. Fortunately, Galdor has only a robe, so you strike him for a lot. Ugh! And he's like seems really badly hurt by that. Okay. There's that. That's going to lead us now to Regina, who is attacking the skeleton again.
Yes.
Second verse, same as the first.
Again. Yes. So, one moment, just so I don't want to roll the. Yes, that is the one. 15.
Okay. 15 will hit. It is a standard success, which means that you will, on standard success, hit the creature, and it will have a chance to hit you for half damage. So go ahead and attack.
I don't have a light fate or anything, so yeah.
Okay, so then you're just going to hit your target for full damage.
Yep.
And
10.
that is definitely a lot. Let's see. 10 minus the... Okay. That's going to get 5 through. I think that's the first time anyone's actually hit these skeletons. Someone put them to sleep, but... Okay. Alright, so you hit that for sure.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Alright, so you do. It takes damage. It does not like it. You see some bone fragments come off it.
Yeah, I'm just like going at it like a woodpecker.
Tick, 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 tick. Okay, I love it. Okay, that's going to bring us on to, I believe next was Reginald, who wanted to drink a potion of some kind.
Yep, healing vial to heal 1d6.
All right, go ahead and do that.
Well, that's about par for the course. Okay, so that's an extra 3.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, so that means that you are back up to 8. Okay. And last but certainly not least is Muriel.
So, Reginald just reminded me that I have a health potion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that too.
Yeah, that seems like a good call. All right.
Yay!
5. All right. So you're back up to 7. All right. Sounds good. Let's see. So, the one skeleton, the sleeping skeleton is still sleeping. The bandit is actually not moved yet, and had not been engaged by anyone yet. Galdor has been... Actually, when Ashflower hit Galdor, was that a great success?
I will have to recheck. I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was because it was 1 plus.
It was the worst.
It was
great
the worst
success
great
ever.
success. Yeah, which means he doesn't get an
Yep.
action. Okay, so that's fine. That is just double checking. So that means that the only one here is the bandit who could reach down and deal with the skeleton, but I think instead he's going to try to. Let's see. Is he going to swing away at Regina, or is he going to go up and try to deal with Reginald? He probably is going to go up here to try to protect... Nope, not you. He's going to try to protect his big boss. So he's going to come up there and try to attack Ashflower. So Ashflower is going to need to make a melee defense test. Presumably, well, either brawn or agility, actually.
Okay, brawn or agility. Let me just get Ashflower up.
Agility.
Yeah, definitely agility. And that's 6. Okay.
Plus.
Ooh.
No, but he has melee. So it's another +2.
Oh, yeah, so that'd be a 20.
Okay, yeah, I mean, then easily passes that test. So succeeds in said test, which means that he will take...
I know, I'm
let's
sorry,
see.
I did it wrong.
And it was actually, that is a standard, it is a standard success. So he's only going to suffer half of the damage he would normally.
Okay.
And this guy, of course, is also has no weapon, so he would take 3 damage, less whatever his armor is.
Which is 3.
Okay.
Or 2 because of the 1 point they took from the sword exploding.
Okay, so he takes 1 point of damage then,
Yep.
and you have it marked off that he took the damage. All right,
Yep.
that's good. And that, I think, is everybody. Okay, that brings us back up to the top, and we've got, let's see, we have Galdor badly hurt. We've got the bandit pretty badly hurt. We've got one of the skeletons hurt, and one of the skeletons still sleeping away. What does everyone want to do on their combat turn?
Very quickly want to double check one of my other spells before I commit.
I'm gonna boop it with a mace.
All right, hit it with a mace. Regina, you're just going to still go after the same skeleton?
Yeah, because he's kind of in the way.
What about you, Regina? Are you going after that skeleton as well?
Did Muriel attack the skeleton this turn?
No, I did not. I had a health cup.
Yeah, she did a health potion.
Ah, yes. So we just need to get this one skeleton down. So I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm
Sounds
still
good.
on the skeleton.
All right, so then we'll have, and I assume Ashflower is going to continue to attack Galdor, I would guess.
He is, but I would like Reginald to go first.
All right, please do then.
And he just starts swinging his arm in the air in a big circle, and the wind starts sucking up bits of bone and stone, whipping around all over the place as the wind picks up and up and up and sweeps everybody within 10 meters off their feet. That's an
Wow.
enemy, not everyone.
I was going to say, so you're going to Thor this action. So,
Yeah. So that
Alright.
was Gust of Wind.
okay.
It was my last spell point, but it's also my enduring spell, so I get at least one more use out of it. So Gust of Wind. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be at standard difficulty because they are all humanoid and of normal size. And yeah. Okay. So I need to roll for this.
Okay, yeah, it has to be successful.
Yep.
And then if it is, then those things will happen.
And then every person that gets knocked down will take damage equal to my craft. Oh, last.
Wow. All right. That is a great success.
Yep.
So it casts, it works perfectly, no one can do anything about it, and that means then...
Yep.
smaller than-
Every enemy within 10 meters of me is knocked down and takes 5 points of damage.
Okay. And I believe 1 square is 1 meter. So that means every enemy is basically knocked to the ground. They all take damage equal to your craft. All right.
Yep, 5 points each.
Wow. I wonder if that...
Although it doesn't ignore armor.
It does not
doesn't-
ignore armor. Okay.
Yeah, I always assume it doesn't ignore armor unless stated specifically.
All right. So these skeletons, neither one are going to be hurt in that event, but they are going to be knocked prone. Where's my prone icon? There we go. Prone. This guy, although asleep, is already prone, so he can't even be even more prone. This guy, who was your original target, was him, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, the bandit was? Okay.
Yeah.
So, he is going to be prone, and he's going to take... Alright, you said it was 5 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, he's going to... So, he looks very hurt now. Okay. And that leaves everybody but Galdor, and Galdor... Galdor, actually... Okay, so Galdor is knocked to the ground, and as you knock him to the ground, his head bangs against the ground wildly, and in a very deadly fashion. And his sort of eyes open, sort of swim, and he says, he falls to the ground, he kind of, and the skeletons immediately crumble into dust. And the bandit, like, scrambles away, just like on hands and knees, and then runs for the window. And as he does that, to basically make his escape. And as he does that, fire up my forest music again. As he does that, you see above the hole a mysterious, ghostly figure appears and speaks to you as if from a great distance. And she looks down at Galdor, who is breathing heavily, and she says to him, "You are going to make a terrible mistake, my husband. Life and death share a delicate balance, and meddling with that balance ends only in tragedy. But now we can be together again, my love." And the spirit goes over to the body of Galdor and almost embraces him as it begins to fade. And you see a look of peace pass over Galdor's face, and then he moves no more as Philomena's spirit fades into mist. Now, I will give you all the opportunity, if you wish, to do anything left that you wanted to check in this chapel, after which I want to talk about our conclusion and have us wrap for the evening. So, is there anything else you want to try to search from this place, or do you wish to be gone from it?
Reginald, with great respect to the corpse, like he doesn't dive on it, but
Right.
he does quite hastily retrieve the talisman.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just sort of looks down at the body for a moment and where the spirit drifted back off to, and he just says, "The balance has been restored."
I wonder if he's got anything neat in them pockets. So can I just like kind of respectfully go through Galdor's pocket?
Respectfully.
Reginald doesn't stop anyone who wants to go looting. But he just say, "I intend to bury this, so take what you need."
Okay.
So he does have a couple of bracelets on his wrists that look to be worth some money, presumably, Muriel, if you had to guess. He also has a crumbling scroll, and as you look at it with some knowledge of these things, it details a forbidden ritual that involves using the talisman to raise a single individual from the dead. So this is the ritual that he was clearly using to try to restore his beloved, though without success.
I would like to retrieve the scroll for my studies.
Okay.
I did studies.
Studies. So you get that. Regina and or Ashflower, any of you searching or doing anything else in the room?
Yes, I will totally not respectfully scatter the dust of the skeleton as far as I can.
Okay.
I don't trust them.
And
like
you do
at
so.
all. And then I will point out, we still have the 2 sleeping guys outside. Shall we go, wake them and give them a good scare? Shall we? Shall we?
Yeah, I mean, they might be waking up at this point, but yeah, totally. We should do that.
I also want to have a look down that hole, by the way, before we go. It's like this huge hole. Maybe it's like an entrance to hell or something, and I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fly over it.
So, two things to be noted. The first is that down below in the hole, you can actually see that there are 2 open coffins that are now empty, and they rest at the bottom of this hole. There is a 3rd closed coffin, and you don't know who's in that, but that one's at the bottom. On top of the closed coffin, though, there is a heavy leather-bound book.
I shout to the others, I think he got the skeletons from here. Also, here's a book. Like, if somebody likes books, here's one.
Oh, I love books!
There we go! It's like a souvenir.
A souvenir! And I immediately start just thumbing through it.
Okay. In this book, what you find within it is what looks like the tome is entitled On Talismans. And this book apparently, although it'll take you a little while to figure it out, it describes several known talismans and their various magical properties. But what you note that is of interest, and I imagine some of this you read on the way back to the city, Muriel, the other thing you note about this that is interesting is that many talismans, in addition to possessing a range of magical effects, also act as keys, allowing those who possess them to pass through magical doors and barriers, and some may even allow access to the spirit realm. Later in the book, you see a lot of question marks written in the margin and could use, think about bottom levels, things like this written in a much more modern hand. And a couple of times you see references to, could this help P? Question mark. And things like that in the book. The other thing you note is that the bandits outside are gone. Presumably they woke up during the course of the battle and then got the hell out of Dodge, if you had to guess.
All right, well, I'm done.
So, last the question, I guess, Regina, is if you wanted to do anything with that closed coffin, or not, or leaving it behind.
Is it attacking me?
No.
Then I'm not.
Then not.
But I will get to Reginald because he's like the expert. There are 2 open coffins in a hole. Do you need to do something with that before we leave? Is this a thing that can stay like this?
We should do something about the closed one.
Like what?
We can relocate it.
What? You want us to take it with us?
We can just bury it outside, but we can't leave it open like this.
Can we just not close the hole in here?
People broke in once, they might again.
I think we should bury it outside. But I don't know how much help I'll be. I'm just all noodle arms.
I get the coffin out of the hole.
Okay.
Reginald does actually look inside the coffin.
Inside, you see the remains of a clearly dead, but not skeletal, beautiful woman of middle years. And in fact, it looks quite a bit like the ghost that you just saw, who appeared above the hole.
As I thought, it was his love. We shall bury them together.
We could use one of the empty coffins.
Aye, the bones were needed now.
Okay. I get another coffin out of the hole.
Okay.
Just be glad Reginald doesn't want to do this for everything we kill.
Okay, let's dig. So where outside do you want your hole for the coffins?
Just over to the side, I indicate where the woods are. Just in the shade of one of the trees.
Okay, I look if the weapons from the two guys are still behind the bushes. Because there was one with had like a halberd or something, and I'm gonna use that to dig the hole because I don't think we have a shovel. Or do you carry around a shovel, Reginald?
I have a scythe.
I don't think that's the same.
Not likely to work the same.
Let's see, I don't think I have a shovel either. No, I don't have a shovel.
Well, Reginald spends his light fate to grow claws with his animal forms and starts digging with those.
All right.
Well, that is weird, Reginald. That is really weird. That is not a weird thing that you're doing.
You dig a hole successfully and
Gets
are
the
able to
job done.
place the coffins in it and then recover the dirt. And after you've placed the coffin within it and covered it over, and you and the rest of your party depart, headed back for the city, you walk out of the area, and the camera, I would say, hovers for just a moment on the spot where you've buried the couple, now together in death. And a moment passes, and then a very odd thing. A rather large toad hops out of the forest and hops over to the grave and looks at it, and then looks up at the place that you have all just disappeared into the undergrowth with shining bright eyes. Ribbit. And then turns and hops away. And that is where we will bring Death's Messenger, first part of our adventure, to a close. Well done, everyone. Talisman Adventures Death's Messenger complete. And it was not easy in that last fight, partially because Ashflower couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and that was part of it. But also, I mean, it was intended to be tough. Oh, and if I haven't mentioned this already, I think you may want to know that you have risen a level, all of you, collectively. So you have entered the next stage of levels. Immediately grabs for the book. Let me check it out. So yes, you have risen to a new level of experience and knowledge. Good work, everyone, especially since you had to handle Mike stuff as well. I will start as usual at the bottom of the column. I see you've been joined by Baby. Chai, how are you? How did you feel about it? It was interesting to see today, actually, that Muriel, the sleep thing was super effective. It's just this time the enemies did a somewhat better job of trying to wake each other up. But still, you had one skeleton like basically entirely out of the fight for the entire fight, which definitely helped. And between that and the shatter spells on the weapons of the bandits, that helped sort of keep this under control. And you got a little bit of knowledge and lore that sort of went into your own mindset going forward about what am I going to do now with this knowledge of these talismans, if any. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the lovely folks find you next?
As always, it was a great session. I loved it. I know you're hungry. We'll have dinner in just a second. Anyway, I will, let's see, I'll be streaming on my personal channel. Hopefully it's tomorrow. I'm really trying to stream, but somebody's been sick and will not let me stream because she needs to be snuggled all day. So
yeah.
That's been a little tough, but yeah, anyway. And I'm really looking forward to exploring Muriel more and like really nailing down her motivations. Like, why is she out? Why is she collecting books and scrolls?
Right.
What is interesting to her? And I have like vague ideas, but so far it's been fun watching her develop. So I can't wait for the next campaign.
It should be cool to see how these things build up as Muriel gains more knowledge of the future in some ways. Always a pleasure, Chai. Thank you as always. Again, you will all see Mike next month with us. Mike had family stuff he had to attend to, so he could not play Ashflower, and it was because of that and his inability apparently to do his character sheet right that the party had to struggle, but they managed somehow, and it all worked out in the end. But you should check out all of Mike's stuff, and Mike's a good guy. He just needs to work in his character sheets. Moving right on up the line, though, we have Darksaber 2K, who did, listen, Reginald's Shatter spell was super useful. The Lightning Bolt scroll, there were different things. Like, yes, you had some down moments where it didn't work as well as you might have intended. But in general, I would say that Reginald was fairly effective, it seemed to me, in most of this combat. And all of you, and also as your 1/3 part of Ashflower, except for the missed die rolls. But that was all Mike's fault, as you know. How did you feel about today's session? Where would lovely folks find you next?
It was really good. Honestly, I think in terms of getting the heart going, that rivaled pretty much almost everything from the last 5 years of D&D. To be fair, that encounter at the end there was a lot going on. I thought it was really good when we all started to get the feel of when's a good time to use Light Fate.
Yes.
Because it's a very finite resource and it
Yeah.
can be very powerful. There is that I will definitely need this later syndrome.
Yes.
But on the other hand, the fact that you don't carry it over, you only ever start with 1. If you've got 0, you go back up to 1. If you had 2, you go back down to 1.
Exactly.
That helps encourage you to use it. Although that being said, we level up and we can stockpile up to 4 now.
That's true. And you actually, and you got a Light Fate in this combat too, which helped a little bit because you're able to use that. So yeah.
Yes, that helped mitigate some damage to keep me in the fight.
Yeah.
For the benefit of people at home, we gain extra life, we gain a new aspect, a new special ability, and max light fate increases at level 2. So you'll see us busting out some fancy moves next time. For example, Mike could take the ability, everything is a weapon.
Great. Reginald becomes the Great Ghoul, who, no,
I can, over the course of leveling up, become an archdruid of a whole forest.
What? Of a whole graveyard?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, and it's been fun. Like I say, Reginald, I definitely enjoy him being a bit more deadpan, but he's learning a bit of snarky humor now in the face of some of the characters' strange decisions.
And we got a moment out of him too. I forgot to mention this, of his talking about, the balance was destroyed, like where you were like, listen, this guy, deserves anything he gets. That was the first time we saw real emotional, anger out of him. So
yeah, definitely, because from his graveyard as well. So on top of disrupting the balance, he made it personal by disrupting both the balance of the world and the balance of his own personal little corner of it.
Yep.
So very not happy with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Respectful to him in death, because who he was in life doesn't matter anymore. He's on to the next stage of his journey as far as Reginald's concerned.
Yeah, which is interesting that in a way your defeat of him gave him what he always wanted, right? Mm-hmm. Which was to be together with his beloved, just in a different way than destroying the balance of the world, which is what would have happened. So.
Oh yeah, but again, I know he's moved on, but there is life after death. I know that very, very well. So I know that just, wherever they are, they're probably at peace and enjoying the next stage of existence. Yep. So win-win all around as far as Reginald's concerned.
Good stuff.
And yeah, personally speaking, I will be back tomorrow picking up the save for RimWorld, picking up from where Belinar left it on Monday. And I think Pyron Jade might be picking it up again after me. Maybe we can tempt some other stream team members to come on board and join the fun and try not to burn down the colony, but no promises.
Yeah, I heard that Belinar was really, excited with how well you all did. Really felt like you set him up well, and
we have so many pyromaniacs.
Yeah, I saw some of the reaction, and they're just kind of like, "What the hell is this?" Basically, it was a bunch of that. So, oh man.
I'll be back on my channel tomorrow. So yeah, all the good stuff.
Good stuff. Thanks, Saber. As always, a pleasure. And Pyron, Regina definitely got a chance to do quite a few things in combat, actually acting as a tank. It was a good call at the end, too, to keep the skeletons from being able to act against Muriel by basically attacking them. So even if you missed, like they were still using up their action dealing with you instead of going after her, which meant that you were protecting her one way or the other, which obviously made a lot of sense. And your armor really was going to help you with that. I love the sequence of you trying to stab the skeleton being like, no, and you being like, let me try that a second time. Plus, of course, the magical leaf moment was, as a butterfly, was good stuff too. How did you feel about today? Where would lovely folks find you next?
I always love our sessions, so that's how I felt about it today. And well, on Thursday, I do now have a regular streaming slot on Thursday, and yes, my plan right now is to continue the save game in the state that Saber leaves it tomorrow, and I'm already like, I so want to watch Saber stream, but I should not, so I will be surprised by what's happening. And yes, Bella Nair's used words like mess and other not so nice things about our base of the very angry tree, and it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting because we're getting like into higher game content right now and have people as attack that are actually armed with guns and rifles and stuff. So yeah, things will be very fun. I'm sure of that. And we've also already, I think we can also already announce our D&D and Talisman sessions for July because people absolutely definitely want to know that.
Ah,
right?
yes, that's true. So assuming that everyone is signed off on them, I think they have, then we have got, I believe, hold on, let me pull up my Discord. We have got on the 13th, we've got Talisman, so that is going to be coming at you in 2 weeks. And then D&D is going to be happening the 27th. Which means we've got almost a month before we get to that, but it's okay. We will be back into some D&D action, and that means next week I've got some Celasta Crown of the Magister that's coming at you because Echo, if I play RimWorld, what will result is a non-existent save file because I will be terrible at that game. That's not. I'm going to instead just admire the work that my colleagues on the GOG Stream team are doing in making a beautiful mess, which I'm sure is the case. I really enjoyed this today as well. Great work from Pyron Jade, from Darksaber 2K, and from Tasty Chai. Thank you all, and for playing that extra character with playing Ashflower. And I will see all of you lovely folks next month for Talisman and in Chai, not in Chai's case, Ananda for D&D, but I'll see you first, Chai, for Talisman in a few weeks. Chat, can we get some love for the players? Players, thank you so much as always. See you soon. All right. So that is going to do it for today. And they did, in fact, manage to get through it. It was a little hairy. I mean, I felt like they were going through that they were probably going to survive. It was probably going to be fine. But it wasn't an absolute guarantee, especially because they had some really unfortunate rolls that did not go their way. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know whether or not this is going to work out the way that they might have intended it to. But they did manage to. And Death's Messenger comes to an end. And I already have other stuff planned. I may have teased out a little bit of what that next adventure in the campaign might be. We will see. But I am looking forward to see how that all works. Am I feeling corporeal still? Yes, I am. I was incorporeal before, but I'm now corporeal now. So that's the deal with that. But I am very excited to be able to see where that goes and to see how D&D goes, which we're going to be playing next month as well. As for me, I'm going to be back here next Tuesday playing some Celasta Crown of the Magister, which I've been having a lot of fun with. And on my own channel, I'm going to be done probably. There is a possibility I might do a bonus stream, but probably I'm going to be done until Friday. And on Friday, I will be continuing with Neverwinter Nights to complete as we move on my own channel, as we move into the month of July. As far as this channel is concerned, the next one that we've got going on is Wolfie who's going to be destroying all humans in about 14 hours. I'm wrapping things up for today, which is why we were able to run over today. But 14 hours of work is 14 hours from now, we've got Wolfie but that's going to be it for us for tonight. If you like what you saw and heard, please make sure to follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube at !ArvTube, Discord !ArvCord. That's me. Never mind. I went into autopilot. Forget that. That's my own channel. Don't do any of that. Instead, just follow the GOG channel. Which is what you should do. Subscribe to the GOG channel. That's what I meant to say. And if you want to know what all those silly commands were that I was saying that have nothing to do with this channel, you could check out our individual channels like mine, and they will give you all the information you have. Oh boy, I have no idea where that came from. I guess I was, all tense from that combat as well. Anyway, that is the deal. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I'm going to see you folks, as I say, later this week on my own channel, and next week right back here for some more Pen and Pixels with Celeste last Crown of the Magister. In 2 weeks, we go back to the second adventure of Talisman Adventures, sponsored as always by Pegasus Spiele. Thanks to all of you lovely people. I hope you had a good time. And don't forget to come back tomorrow on this channel for some Wolfie lore. Until then, until I see you next time, thanks to my players, and I will catch all of you lovely folks soon. Be good to each other. Have a good night.